How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Critical Eye. It's been a while. I'm Chris.
I'm Drew.
Kevin.
Yeah, again, it's been a while.
It has, yeah.
What did we? One video last year. It was an update video.
Actually, I think it's been about a year since our last video, which is an update on the state of the channel.
It is. And then we recorded the Oscars one from last year, and then we never actually put it up.
I think so. I think we recorded a few videos last year that we just never put up. We all got caught up with a few things in our lives, but I think we're ready to restart it.
Fingers crossed.
Get the ball rolling again. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You guys might be noticing something different, but there is no video.
Yes, there is no video. Doing strictly audio this time.
Yeah, I don't know how long we're going to do that. Do you want to do... I'm fine with audio for now. It's just we're in a new location. We're not really quite sure what the set's going to be yet.
I'm good for audio.
Yeah, just audio until we figure out a set location, a setup for it,
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you like audio more and we just stick with that.
Exactly. Congratulations to Drew. He just bought a house. So we're in Drew's house now and still figuring out where exactly we could put everything. I hope it's okay that I said that.
Yeah.
We're not going to give the address, so it's okay.
Exactly
I didn't
Here's the address.
I'm not getting doxxed. So
Here's the address if you want to visit. No.
Yeah.
Well, Chris has already doxed our general location anyway several times.
It was in the past, okay?
Drew bought a box somewhere on the planet. So,
on the planet. We're on Mars.
Yeah, so we have a new location, and we're still figuring out exactly where we're going to start recording.
There's a new animal.
Table.
There is a new animal.
Peppermint.
His name's Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah. It's a cat.
It is
a
a cat.
You may have seen Emma and Penny. You probably won't see them again on our podcast.
They're still around. They're just not.
Yeah, they're just not at this house. But we do have a cat named Peppermint, who's adorable, sleeping on their little cat stand right there. I feel like they're on the wrong level. Isn't that supposed to be the bed down there?
I don't know. He sits wherever he fits.
Yeah, you guys probably can't see what we're talking about.
But yeah, they definitely can't.
Yeah. But yeah.
So you're hosting, Chris.
I am.
You're hosting our big comeback.
Wow.
Who's the guy who hosted the Golden Globes? Don't do that.
Joe Coy.
Joe Coy, yeah.
He did.
Which is too bad because he actually in reality he's actually funny, but
he's hilarious.
But the thing is with the Golden Globes is they waited until the last second. They didn't have a host until the day before.
Yeah. It was like 10 days before.
Yeah, but still.
They should have Tom Segura host one of the shows.
Ricky Gervais, get him back.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. That'd be great. But yeah, so there's a lot that we have to go over.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, just. You got this.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought we could start with the Oscars.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the nominations. I mean, I think a few movies got stuffed there, but I think the only one that I can think of right now is the Iron Claw that got snuffed from the Oscars. But what do you guys think?
Even though this one got nominated for Best Picture, I think Past Lives got a few snubs.
Okay.
No acting nominations. Did you get the screenplay nomination? Or you got?
I'll look in a second.
Yeah, I can also pull up on my end too.
I haven't seen that one. I have a shopping list of movies I have to watch before the show.
Yeah, I'm missing 3 Best Pictures. I still need to see Maestro, Zone of Interest, and Anatomy of a Fall.
I still need those 3. I need the Holdovers. I haven't seen
what
yet.
Is it? I have to see Anatomy of a Fall. What else was there?
Maestro. Did you finish Maestro?
Not yet. No.
Then you saw Zone of Interest.
I did recently. Yeah.
Yeah. What really is that? But you want to make a comment about Zone of Interest?
It's a hard watch. It's not easy. I don't like. It's really well done. Like it's shot beautifully. It did get nominated for sound design, which works really well.
It won. I believe it won Best Sound at the BAFTAs this year.
Yeah.
Which is like the. I don't know if this is the right phrase to use, but like the British Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah. It beat Oppenheimer for sound.
Really?
So.
Huh. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer
was a very in-your-face sound movie. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Zone of Interest, but I've heard the sound is very subtle.
It's subtle. It's in the background. So if you don't know what Zone of Interest is about, it's this family. The father's a commandant at what do you call it? Like a camp. What do they call?
Lieutenant. Or something like that?
No, I like a prisoner of war camp in like Nazi Germany. The
Yeah.
What is it like Auschwitz?
I think it is Auschwitz. Don't they live right next to Auschwitz?
I'm not. Do they? I don't remember if they even say.
He's one of the like higher.
Yeah,
ranking,
he's a commandant.
Yeah, one of the higher ranking officers.
You never actually see anything that's going on in the camp, but you hear the stuff, and it's such a good example of how just as powerful like sound can be in storytelling. Because it's just all like different sound, and it's just like horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some movies use sound really well, and some movies use the lack of sound really well. Like
Quiet Place.
Yeah, A Quiet Place, or I think Parasite was another one where they used like the lack of sound really well in some scenes. I think the best movies that use lack of sound are like action movies.
They use lack of sound or that use sound.
Lack of sound, because it's like during fight scenes you could hear every punch, every hit, and stuff like that. It just makes the impact a little bit more. It's like, I'm a big UFC fan, and there was a period during the pandemic where they were using the UFC Apex instead of like arenas because they couldn't, and there was no crowd. And those were some of the best fights. Like you could hear every hit, every slap, every punch, and it was like brutal to watch. And that's why I think like action movies are some of the best ones.
They didn't put any like white noise or anything.
No,
that's right. Because I know like what was it, like the football and baseball games were putting white noise because it was distracting the athletes because they're so used to the noise all the time that the sound is just kind of like distracting them.
Yeah, no, they didn't do any of that. It was just, and it was weird because like each fighter could hear the other corner like yelling at their fighter, so it was like they knew what was going on, and they could hear like the announcers and stuff like that, but they couldn't. There was no crowd. The WWE did something like that, but they had like artificial sound where they would have cheering for some wrestlers and booing for others. And it's like, guys, that's not authentic. Come on. But like some movies do that, and it's really good. They use like the lack of sound. Like I don't know you guys. So I learned this recently that Chris and Drew have never seen any of the most of the John Wick.
Yeah, we've seen the first one.
Yeah, I've seen the first.
Yeah, but that's like one of those movies where during fight scenes when there's like no sound, it's one of the best fight scenes. Like there's a fight scene where he's in the third one, he's fighting in this like glass room, and there's a bunch of glass, like glass artifacts, and he's fighting these two assassins, and they keep kicking him through the glass, they keep breaking shit. And, like, you can hear every hit, and every time glass shatters, you're like, ooh, that sounds terrible. Wow. So, like, stuff like that I like. But then there's also stuff with sound. Like, I was watching Oppenheimer the other day, and I realized that Christopher Nolan, one of the reasons I love him so much is that he, in, like, every scene, there's music that sounds like it would be in the trailer. Like, every scene in the movie sounds like a trailer, and it gets me excited for the movie again in every scene.
When you were talking about lack of sound... You're more like the actual
like noises. In Tenet, when there was those scenes where they didn't have any sound.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not the music.
When you're talking about the music, that's like soundtrack.
The score.
Or score.
Oh, yeah.
Score, not soundtrack. Score.
Sorry, I was talking about
Sorry, that's why you're confused. You're like action with the lack of sound. I'm like, what? I'm like, what action movie doesn't have sound?
That was my fault. Yeah, I meant like no music, no background noise, just like whatever's happening on the screen, you could hear everything. But
thank God there's no camera because I've been yawning. I'm sorry, it's not you. I'm just really tired.
Oh, that's okay, man. Do you need like a coffee or something?
No.
You sure?
I'm good.
I have tea. I don't have coffee.
No, I'm good.
I should get coffee for you guys at some point.
But I started drinking coffee a little bit more recently, but I drink a lot of Celsiuses. So I try not to. That plus my medication keeps me awake pretty well. What else got nominated for Best Picture?
Barbie.
You want to go through?
It doesn't matter. You can too.
There's American Fiction, which I was surprised by that nomination. Well, I don't know. I was surprised and I wasn't surprised. Like, it didn't seem like a Best Picture movie, but before the Oscars coming out, I saw it was getting a lot of award buzz.
Yeah.
Did you see American Fiction?
I did. It surprised me.
I do like it. It is a good movie.
There were some funny parts, like the comedy in that movie. I didn't expect it, but it was just like my kind of comedy. The timing was perfect, and it was just hilarious.
It beat Oppenheimer at the BAFTAs for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Did it? Yeah. I think if it comes down to Jeffrey Wright and Cillian Murphy, I might not give it to Cillian. I think it might be Jeffrey Wright. because I thought he was fantastic in that movie.
I think right now it's between Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. Or is it Cillian or Killian?
It's Killian.
I think it's Killian. I've been saying his name wrong this whole time. I'm a big fan of his though, like Peaky Blinders, all the Christopher Nolan movies. I watched I watched him. I didn't realize this, but I watched a behind the scenes video where they like interviewed Christopher Nolan, and they were asking him like, "Oh, when you told Killian that he was finally going to lead in one of your movies, like what was his reaction?" He goes, "I went to his house and I told him about it, and his first question was, so do I have to put a bag over my head?" And I didn't realize that in like every movie that he's in with Christopher Nolan, he has a bag over his head.
There's Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Scarecrow. In Inception, he gets kidnapped and he has the bag over his head.
He wasn't in Interstellar.
He wasn't in Interstellar. He wasn't in Memento, I think.
Tenet?
Was he in Dunkirk?
No. I think the only two movies that he was in, or the movies that he were in were like the Batman movies and Inception. But like in all the movies that he was in, he had a bag over his head.
Yeah, he's besides. Well, he's the only villain who returned for all three Batman movies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they would have had Joker come back, but
yeah,
then he would have also not been in the first one. But yeah, he was a good one. I like his Scarecrow. I liked Raj Al Ghul though. I felt like he should have returned in the second one. At least like an image of him.
That was in the third one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that image was in the third one.
But it would have been cool if it was like he haunted Batman through the entire trilogy, and then
Yeah.
finally at the end was like, you know, I'm sick of this shit.
That's American Fiction.
Yeah, American Fiction.
Yeah. Next one was Anatomy of a Fall. I haven't seen that one. That looks really interesting. I don't think it's a foreign film. I think it's a French film.
I don't know too much about it though.
It's this guy falls off this guy falls out of his window and dies. And the whole movie's a court case trying to figure out whether or not his wife committed the murder. So like all these different things come up that either make her feel more guilty or make her feel less guilty.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like a courtroom drama.
Yeah. Actually, and like I said, because on this list is also The Zone of Interest. Sandra Hüller is in both of those movies.
Yeah.
So 2 Best Picture nominees, and she also got nominated herself. I said earlier.
I haven't seen either of those. I think so. Oppenheimer, I've seen. American Fiction. Is there anything else on there? Barbie was nominated?
Yeah, Barbie.
It wasn't there the first time I saw the list. Did they just like see?
No, it's
been
there. It's been there.
Yeah,
was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not gonna win, but it's on there. Congratulations, guys.
It's got
I
killer.
was just saying how like it didn't get nominated for anything because like everybody
got a bunch of nominations, I think.
Oh, I maybe just didn't read everything, but
Let me see. I thought
it was a decent movie. I don't think it pales. I think it pales in comparison to like Oppenheimer and American Fiction. So I don't think it's gonna win. But
it got 8 nominations.
Oh, all right. Well, then I was completely wrong.
Well, 2 of them are songs.
Yeah.
Really quick talk about, because like The Holdovers got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was my favorite movie from last year.
That was also my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Something about it just sticks.
Yeah. I feel like Paul Giamatti is one of those like more underrated actors. Like he doesn't get too many lead roles, but he's fantastic in everything he's in.
And the kid who's in that movie, he had never acted in front of a camera before. Like this was his first. Paul Giamatti said, he'd never acted before. This was his first.
Was he like a Broadway actor?
No,
he's young. He's only in like early 20s, I think. Right?
Oh,
I think he's
So
he's like super. He's never acted before. This was his first thing, and he's been winning awards. He didn't get nominated. He didn't get nominated for an Oscar though, but he was like a SAG award, and was he nominated for a BAFTA?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But he was really good.
I gotta watch it. That's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You saw my account. I remember logging in.
I do still have your account. We have
You're welcome to log in and use it if you want.
I logged in on my PS4 one day and I was like, "Oh, we're logged in." And I saw it said Drew Addison and stuff. I was like, "This isn't my account." It was like, "Oh, I forgot it's still Drew's." That's from when we watched Firestarter.
That movie.
Oh,
I got Peacock for that movie actually.
Yeah, you downloaded the free trial for that movie. It's so bad.
So we could, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's Barbie, The Holdover, like you mentioned, The Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a really good one.
That one.
Yeah.
You saw that one? What'd you think of it?
It was a really good movie.
I liked it, but I don't know. Like, I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a movie you're supposed to love. Like,
well, no, like I didn't like it as much as I like. I think one. I think it was long. I think it was longer than it needed to be. I think parts of it dragged on.
I don't think it's one of those movies where like I would.
It's not fun.
Like, killing to watch it again.
No.
But I think it was a fun Scorsese movie.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's fun per se.
Like if I'm ever on a Scorsese
it's not
kick,
fun.
Yeah, if I was ever on like a Scorsese kick, like I want to watch a bunch of Scorsese movies, it'd probably be on the list. But it's not a movie where I'm like sick in bed. Oh, let's watch Killers of the Flower Moon. No, probably not that. But it was a really good movie.
Especially since Lily Gladstone was sick the entire time in the movie.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sick watching a sequel.
Exactly.
So
I don't think Leo got nominated for that though.
No, yeah, no, he wasn't getting nominated a lot of places. So
he was really good in that movie. Though.
He was. I thought he was better than De Niro. Robert De Niro got nominated. I think
he did.
Yeah, I thought he was better than De Niro.
Oh yeah.
I think Lily Gladstone deserved her nomination.
Yeah.
Does she deserve the win though?
We'll see. Who else was not? I mean,
Emma Stone's leading.
There's a couple.
I mean, we'll get there after the movies.
I don't want to go through every single category because it's a lot. I just think. Well, I just thought we'd touch on a couple things because I know there's a few things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I just want to see what else was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh yeah,
see what else I haven't
Maestro.
seen. So
that's on Netflix.
I think I've only seen like 4 of the movies.
Oppenheimer.
I've seen Oppenheimer. I've seen
Poor
Barbie.
Things.
I haven't seen Poor Things.
Past Lives.
Past Lives was good.
And The Zone of Interest.
No, I've seen Barbie, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and
American Fiction.
American Fiction. I think those are the only 4. I have a lot to watch.
Past Lives. I think that's on something, but
that's on I think Hulu. I think I've seen it.
I thought it was on Prime. I could be wrong.
It might be. I go through those streaming services like nothing. Like I just scroll through them.
I think just real quick for supporting actress. So obviously you have America Ferrera
from Barbie.
I don't know if you can see Chris cringe at the
I like her as an actress. I think she's very good, but I don't think it was like an Oscar worthy performance.
Yeah, she was in that remake of West Side Story, right?
No. Where was
she from?
She's Ugly Betty.
Yeah, she's Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty. She's in Annihilation.
Yeah.
She's in Annihilation.
Okay. I like
That's
that.
who she is.
She's good. She was just in something recently too, another movie. I forget what it was, but
someone else that got nominated for supporting actress is Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, and I was trying to figure out what I knew her from because I've seen her in something else, and I finally figured it out. She's in Peacemaker.
Is she?
She's Amanda Waller's daughter, Adebayo.
I didn't see Peacemaker.
She's the one that was works with works in the team that's controlling John Cena.
Oh, she's
Amanda Waller's daughter, the big black girl.
Yeah, she's in Orange Is the New Black.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
She plays. I think her name is Candy or something like that in Orange Is the New Black.
She was. Did you guys see Color Purple?
I did. I liked it.
She was really good in that.
Yeah, I didn't know she could sing either.
Yeah. Apparently, the girl who plays the main actress there, she played the same actress, or she played the same character in the Broadway show. That's what I heard.
Fantasia Barrina? The woman, the main girl from The Color Purple?
Yeah. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I could be mixing up.
She's from American Idol.
Is she?
She won season 3, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, Fantasia, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tajari P. Henson, is that her name?
Tajari, yeah.
Taraji, yeah.
Taraji, yeah, she's really good. And
she was good in that one too.
I haven't seen The Color Purple yet, but I'm sure she's getting there. I didn't know she played Bell Bottom in Despicable or in Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, that's her.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I did want to mention Godzilla -1. One nomination for visual effects. I think it deserved more nominations than that, but I'm still happy it was nominated for something, at least. Yeah.
I mean, you can leave the list up in case we're missing any movies.
I also have a list up too. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, Godzilla -1, I watched the same day as Napoleon, and it was a long time at the movie theaters.
I didn't like Napoleon.
What you should do is you should watch at the same time as Oppenheimer. See them build up to the bombs, and then see what happens from the bomb.
Yes, from the bomb on. It's just like Godzilla shows.
You could watch Napoleon.
You should do a double feature, like at a drive-in theater with that.
Yes.
With that.
You could.
Oh, I thought somebody was coming downstairs. That's the cat. Godzilla Minus One was really good. It was probably one of the better Godzilla movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it's the best one I've ever seen. Granted, I never saw Shin Godzilla, but I think it's the best one I've ever seen.
I've never seen Shin Godzilla. I am a big fan of the new Godzilla Kong universe. I'm a fan of it, at least.
The new one looks kind of stupid.
I thought Kong was good in the 2 Godzilla movies I liked.
I didn't like the first 2 Godzilla, but I kind of like Godzilla versus Kong. I thought it was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. I thought it was them two, and then it turned out they were fighting Mechagodzilla. I was like, oh, shit. That's awesome.
I don't know what to think about this new one that's coming out.
It looked kind of dumb.
I mean, I'm excited just to see them again on screen and like teaming up against some big bad. But the big bad looks the same size as them, so I don't know how big of a bad he is. But I guess there's some. I don't know if it was Godzilla that they're hinting at, but in the last trailer there was like some bigger, like guy that they were hinting at. It sounded like it may have been Godzilla, but I thought it was like somebody new. I have no idea. I'll talk to Eddie about that, see if he knows anything.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Eddie in so long. But that I'm kind of excited for. This cat is freaking out about this toy.
He's in his playful mode.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a lot of banging in this video now. But
yeah. We'll try not to get distracted from it. It's fun.
But yeah, no, yeah. It's too bad Godzilla Minus One couldn't get nominated for international film.
Yeah. Because if it could, it probably
Japan didn't even like submit it to be nominated.
Oh, that's tough.
They chose another movie. I think that whatever movie they chose got nominated still.
Which one? Was it Past Lives?
No, not Past.
That's
Korean.
That's Korean.
It's Korean.
And it's an American film actually.
Oh.
Even though most of it's in Korean,
yeah,
it is an American film technically.
Gotcha. Yeah, Godzilla Minus One was a good movie, and I thought they did a good job of mixing like the chaos of having Godzilla around and like a really good story, you know, like really good characters and a really good main story. And then Godzilla, he just happened to be there, but it also felt really like he was connected to everything. It was really good. I liked it. Napoleon, on the other hand, I thought it was good, but I thought it was
I didn't like it either.
Yeah, which sucked because it was the one I was most excited for last year. Because I heard like
I was excited for that one too.
Yeah,
like,
really Joaquin Phoenix. Vanessa Kirby is great.
Ridley Scott's a hit or miss for me. I either love his movies or I hate them.
Yeah.
Like in 2021, like I loved The Last Duel, but I didn't like House of Gucci that much.
I
forgot that both of those came out the same year.
Yeah.
I like The Last Duel.
It's weird to think that same person directed like Alien.
Yeah, like, I love Alien.
And Blade Runner.
I love Alien and Aliens.
He did Gladiator, which
he's really good at like history and like sci-fi. It's weird to think about.
I just feel that he's like he thinks way too highly of himself. Like he's a good filmmaker, but I just think he thinks like he's like untouchable, like invincible when it comes to filmmaking.
Yeah.
And that anything he touches is going to be gold. And I just like that's not the attitude you should have when making films.
Like that's pretty much Scorsese right now, but like he also doesn't think that way. Like he's like, this movie could be a hit or miss, but I'm gonna make it anyways.
Like Spielberg is like the
there's certain movies where like it's not just it's a like you can tell by what people call the movie, like who's the main attraction. Like when I watch a movie, I'm like, oh, that's the next Ridley Scott movie, or that's the next Scorsese movie, or that's the next Leo movie, or the next Tom Hardy movie.
Well, what did you think?
You can tell who rules it.
well, when Killers came out, did you think it was the next Scorsese or the next Leo?
Oh, I honestly thought it was both, because when they get together, it's amazing. Like The Departed, The Gangs of New York, you know, all those movies that he's in, I think they're fantastic. So there's certain people would like that where I'm like, oh man, they're getting together, and it's amazing. I always think that with certain movies, like when Christopher Nolan and Tom Hardy get together, I'm like, oh, Christopher Nolan and Tom Hardy are back together. Let's get it.
Gotham City.
Yeah, where he's in when he was in Inception. I thought he was one of the better parts of it. I rewatched Inception again recently, and it still got to me.
I need to rewatch that one.
Oh, I remember I rewatched.
Oh, the thing with the kids, his kids, right?
Not just the kids, but like the plot twist at the end. I don't want to like. I mean, it's Inception. You guys probably seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's 14 years on.
Interstellar always gets to me every time I watch it. Like the thing with his daughter.
Yeah.
And he comes back and then she's in the hot. Like it's just every time it just like gets. Even though you know it's coming, you're just like jeez.
But Inception, for some reason, I keep forgetting what the main plot twist is. because there's so much else going on in the movie, and every time it always gets to me. You
Well,
guys
it's like
remember what it
Tenet.
is? You guys remember from Inception what like the main plot
I
twist is?
haven't seen that since like 2015.
It's the whole reason why like she killed herself when she went back to the main thing, or the reason why he knows Inception is real.
Yeah,
why
yeah,
he
yeah.
came
Okay,
back.
yeah, I know what you're talking
It's
about.
because he
Yeah,
planted in order to get her out of the dream world, he planted the idea in her head that her world wasn't real and she needed to escape. So when she went back to the real world, that idea was still in her head. Oh, that was a fantastic twist. I was like, oh my god, that's.
I need to
who
go on
thinks
a,
of something like
I need to go on a Christopher Nolan binge. I usually only watch the new movie comes out, and then like other than Dark Knight, I don't really rewatch much of his stuff. I need to get back into it.
I definitely feel like the Batman trilogy feels like the most rewatchable. Like
Yeah.
it's the one that it's out of all his films, it's the one that I'll be like, I want to rewatch this. I want to watch this.
Now, do you watch the trilogy or do you just watch the Dark Knight? Because I kind of just watched the Dark Knight, to be honest.
I would say probably the Dark Knight. I mean, I like all three of them.
I do too.
I really do.
But
I think they're all
if I'm
good.
rewatching one,
Yeah.
it's always been the Dark Knight. I don't think I've ever rewatched Batman Begins or Dark Knight Rises.
For me, it always starts with The Dark Knight, and then I'll watch like The Dark Knight Rises, and then be like, I'm already watching those two. And then I'll watch Batman Begins. So that's how it usually starts for me.
But I just like, you know what I mean? Like, those just feel like the most rewatchable, and when you're in the mindset of, if you were to look at his films and be like, this one,
yeah,
I want to watch this.
Those and Inception are probably like that for me. And then it usually leaks into like Interstellar or
I need to give
or
Interstellar another
Memento.
chance. I liked Interstellar, but I never got the hype for it.
Yeah.
I need to give it another chance. Maybe now I'll have my eyes open.
Murph.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Murph.
I watched it for the first time like years after it came out. It was probably I watched it after I think Tenet.
When he's like, just like, he's up in the ship and he's like holding the picture and he's just like crying, and I'm like, dude.
That was sad. I was like, but then like Memento was good.
At
least I
That's
thought
a good. I
decent.
like Memento.
Yeah, I thought
I
it
need
was
to
decent.
rewatch that one. I saw that like a long time ago once, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, and then of
But I
course
do remember
Oppenheimer.
liking it.
Yeah, and now Oppenheimer's.
Oppenheimer, people are like, is his like masterpiece. People are like, it's his masterpiece. It's his like.
Is it or is it just the ones getting the most Oscar buzz, and they're like, okay, we're going to give him his Oscar now.
Probably the.
I think so. I think
Like,
that-
I mean, Oppenheimer is probably one of his better films. Probably one of his best films, but
yeah.
I also feel like people kind of just like he's overdue for his Oscar.
Yeah, I just thought it was really creative how he, like, I don't know anything about scientists or like, you know, quantum physics.
Anything
now-
on this flat earth.
Now
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's a household name like Batman.
Exactly. Like, I know Oppenheimer now. I know more or less about like Chevalier and Einstein and fucking, you know, all the other scientists in that movie. And I'm like, I didn't know any of these people before. I heard of like Heisenberg, and I was like, the only thing I knew of
Josh
Heisenberg was
Peck.
fucking was Breaking Bad. That's the only thing I knew about Heisenberg. But now I feel like I know so much more about everything and how like the atom bomb came first, and then they were like, yeah, we need to make the hydrogen bomb. And I was like, holy shit! I thought they were. Like, I didn't realize there was one maniac already building a fucking nuclear bomb.
Like, just look at like the people that were in that movie. Like, was it Benny Safdie?
Yeah, Manny Safdie.
Josh Peck?
Josh Peck.
He had a very small role though. I people are hyping up. I'm like
But-
Josh Peck, and then I'm like, oh, look at his face, and that's it.
But then like Tom Conti as like Einstein.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck, Casey Anthony? Or Casey
Casey
Affleck?
Casey Anthony is the
Affleck.
one that killed her.
Not Anthony. Casey Affleck.
Listen, she was not guilty.
She was not guilty. She also wasn't.
But she also did it. So
I know, but we're a podcast. We can't make
we're,
it.
we're a
can't-
true crime podcast now.
Yeah.
We don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck.
Casey
yeah.
Affleck was in it. He wasn't even like. I don't think he was really
Like
advertising
Matt
being in
Damon.
it.
Like,
When I saw he was in, I was like, "What the fuck? Where did you come from?" Gary Oldman was in it.
oh, as
Like, where the
as
fuck did you
Truman.
come from?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Like,
hated
huge
him. So like, I
names.
love Gary Oldman, but I hated Truman.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I hate this
A
guy.
lot of people
Yeah.
hate Truman.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like they weren't even really advertised. They were just kind of like, "Hey, he's here." Like, this
It was like
a
all
good
of a
guy.
sudden, I didn't even, when we were watching the movie, I didn't even realize it was Gary Oldman.
Yeah, like I saw him, and I think I started to laugh, and Anna was like, "What?" I was like, "That's fucking Gary Oldman. You don't know who that is?" I was like,
I didn't even realize it was him until I think you said something, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I
Yeah.
could see it. But the makeup was so good that it didn't even really look like him.
Yeah, even the guy,
And he's also such a good actor that he can like completely take over his role, and you might not even know it's him until like the credits are rolling.
And then the guy who played, I think it was Heller The guy who came up with the idea for the hydrogen bomb, that like crazy asshole. He's the guy from Good Times. You remember that? I only seen like a couple minutes of.
Are you talking about Safdie?
It might be Safdie. He plays like
one of the guys who did Uncut Gems, the Safdie brothers.
I don't know. He's in. Have you guys seen Good Times?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, his brother, the one who's like.
But that's Benny Safdie.
He's an Oppenheimer. And I was like, what?
That's what we're talking.
Yeah, I didn't know his real name, but I was like, dude, there's so many good people.
He's also the director of Good Times.
Yeah. This guy's in it. Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh, the Dewey.
What's his name?
Dewey
from The Boys. Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid's in it. Like, there's so many people in it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are there so many people in this movie? None of them are. I mean, I guess there's so many they can't just advertise everybody.
No.
They'd have a long ass list.
What is even like huge actors in like little roles?
Exactly, little things here and there.
Florence. I mean, she was advertised. She's like a main.
Advertised. Emily Blunt was advertised.
She was nominated.
Yeah. Even the lawyer who was on the stand, who was like interrogating Oppenheimer. He's the guy from Lawless. He's from Planet of the Apes. One of them. He was from like a bunch of other shit. He's a really good actor. He was from Pet Sematary, which wasn't the best movie, but you guys know who I'm talking about?
Jason Clarke.
Yes.
Jason I love.
Oh
yeah.
Can it?
There's just so many.
Speaking of Planet of the Apes, this is just a quick thing, and then we'll go off. I found out I didn't realize that Paul Giamatti was in a Planet of the Apes movie.
We don't talk about that one.
He plays one of the apes. Like he got all like.
We're not going to talk about that one.
Which one is it? One of the older ones or
the Tim Burton one?
The Tim Burton one.
Starring Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
It's not good, but I never realized that was him until I saw him in an interview when he was talking about it. He goes, and he talked like he just had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Doing that role because when going to see it at the premiere, he didn't have to look at himself. He was just like, you can't even tell it's him.
I've never seen any of those. I will say I'm excited for the new one.
Yeah, we haven't seen. Have you seen the Rise, Dawn, and War?
I've seen the first one, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
That's a good one, but that's the weakest one, I think.
If I showed also the other two are
better. The second one's the best. It's like the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. The second one's the best, and the third one's pretty good.
I'm gonna watch them.
It does look like him, but if you didn't know it was him, I don't think.
Yeah. Now I'm excited because now that you say that, I'm excited because I thought the second one looked really good, and then the third one they brought out Woody Harrelson. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. But I gotta watch all three of them before the fourth one comes out because like, just when you thought
James Franco in like the first one is like actually really good.
Yeah, there's so many like series like if you guys have watched John Wick's, they're good, and then the fourth one comes out and you're like, there's no way they can get better, and then it's the best one of the series. Like it's you think there's nothing else that they can do that would be good, and then they bring out Donnie Yen as the blind assassin, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's the best part of the entire series.
Donnie Yen.
Is it Donnie Yen? What's his name?
Is he Ip Man?
Yeah, he is Ip Man.
Wasn't he like a blind guy in Rogue One too?
I've never seen Rogue One.
I think he was.
Yeah,
the guy that wore like the bandana on his eye.
I don't know if he wore bandanas, but he was blind.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's like Jackie Chan. He's one of those fighting actors who does like all of his own fight scenes, and he's just amazing in all of them.
Good Jet Li, kind of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, and when him and John Wick got together, I was like, oh,
Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Steven
and they brought out
Seagal's awful.
They brought out Bill Skarsgård as one of the best villains. They brought out like a bunch of people.
Speaking of Skarsgård, I think is it Bill? Is it Alex? There's this movie. I just saw this trailer for this movie, and it's called Boy Kills World or something.
Yes, I've seen
is that Bill or Alexander?
That's Bill. It looks
good.
Good.
So Bill Skarsgård plays this when he was a kid, his like family was killed in front of him. It's this like post-apocalyptic world. And I don't know if he was mute and deaf before, but as an adult now, he's mute and deaf. And he created this like inner voice for himself from a video game, and the inner voice is H. John Benjamin from Bob's Burgers. And so H. John Benjamin basically narrates the movie, and it's his inner voice. And I don't really know what to make of it. Like, it looks like it could be really great, like, and funny, but also it looks like it could be awful.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure.
See, action comedy has been like a
Guns
hit or miss.
Guns Akimbo was really fun. That Daniel Radcliffe
Yeah, but other people didn't like that one.
I
liked it.
But like Bullet Train was really good.
Bullet Train's great. I love Bullet Train.
Yeah, Bullet Train was amazing. But then there's some that are just like they're not really action comedy, but the Fast and Furious movies.
Well, those Deadpool movies were good.
The Deadpool movies, exactly. Like, they just gotten really good. Deadpool 3.
What a segue.
Yeah, what a segue. Deadpool 3's coming out. We finally got a trailer.
Just real quick, after we do our we watch the Oscars, we'll talk more about them.
Is there any more you want to talk about the Oscars?
I mean, I was just going to say The Boy and the Heron, but that was the last thing, I guess.
The Boy and the Heron? What was The Boy and the Heron?
It being nominated?
Was it nominated?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen that one.
That's the Miyazaki. The guy who did, like, Spirited Away, Ponyo.
Oh.
Have you seen the trailer with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Oh my god. His voice.
Right?
Like,
have you heard Robert Pattinson's voice in it?
No.
Can I see if I can find a clip?
Show it to me afterwards.
I don't want to get copyrighted for
it. Show it to me afterwards.
So we're about 35 minutes into recording.
Okay.
Should we cut into a second video for our second half, like with other non-Oscar stuff, or do you want to keep it rolling?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's up to
Do
you.
you guys want to keep talking about the Oscars? Or do you guys
I think we've talked enough about the Oscars for now.
Although I did want to bring something about The Boy and the Heron. How it's beaten Spider-Verse twice already for Best Animated Film. It's beaten it at the Golden Globes, and it's beaten it at the BAFTAs.
That's not a good sign for my next Oscar.
Has it really beaten it? It's beaten Spider-Man
Am I not
twice?
Maybe I should watch this.
Am I not going to get an Oscar this year?
You might not, Chris. You might not.
Although the Annies, which is the animated awards,
yeah.
I believe Spider-Verse won 8 awards there.
Yeah.
So it still has a chance, but I do think it's a much closer
than people
race
thought it was
than
going
we think it's going to be, since Boy and the Heron beat it twice already.
Can I just say, I really liked Across the Spider-Verse, but I still think Into the Spider-Verse is a much better film.
I do too.
I think so,
and I don't. I think it's because it was the first one like that, and I don't think you can recreate the magic that first one had.
Yeah.
I think it's arguably a much better film. I still think the second one's fantastic, and I'm really excited for the third one.
Yeah.
I think...
When's that coming out?
It's supposed to come out
next
this year.
It was supposed to come out this year, but then
it's
the
supposed to come out
strike.
next month,
but right with the strikes and everything.
I'm really upset we didn't get because we'd be hyping up right now.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, the next one's right around the corner.
But like I said, I still enjoyed the second one, but I think the first one's arguably much better.
Yeah. I love that new animation style that they're using.
Did you see the guys behind Spider-Verse? They were working, they wanted to do a Batman Beyond film.
Yes.
And they've been pitching it for years to Warner, I almost said Walt Disney, to Warner Bros.
Yeah, they just released like pictures of it.
They did. The pictures look really cool. Like you can tell it's that same style. Or same animation style.
Yeah.
It's Sony. It would have been Sony Pictures. It would have been like producers behind like the Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, the Spider-Verse movies, some of the other stuff. It's the same writers.
Yeah.
They've said that originally Warner Bros. Was kind of like, but over the last few years they've transitioned into a maybe someday when the time is right.
Well, they just throw out their DC movies left and right.
They do.
Or their movies in general, like. What was it? Batgirl. We never got Batgirl. We never got Fire.
They finished filming that too.
We never got Fire. We never got to see Brendan Fraser's Firefly.
I'm really upset about that. I don't know how good it would have been because a lot of the times the DC movies aren't great, but I was still really interested to see it.
It's because they put all their money in the Flash, and then
it wasn't good.
It wasn't great. No, it wasn't good at all.
They wasted Michael Keaton.
I thought so.
I liked the Flash more than you go first. You say your propaganda. I'll say mine.
I might get some shit from this. I thought Ezra Miller was slightly entertaining in that movie. I thought he had some funny parts, but other than that, it wasn't a good movie.
I think Ezra Miller's a good Flash, but I don't think the movie was a good movie.
Yeah, they wasted Michael Keaton, like you said, and then I thought that girl did a really good job as Supergirl, and then I heard that they were recasting. I was like, why the fuck are you doing
because James Gunn completely starting over.
Yeah, but she did a really good job as Supergirl. You should just rehire her.
I think Blue Beetle was a pretty decent.
It was a good movie.
I think it was better than Flash. I actually enjoed it. I had a good
hilarious in that movie.
And that grandma. Yeah. She's apparently like a legendary like Mexican actress. I didn't know that. Like I saw this article. I don't remember where it was, but she was like talking about it, and she's this like beloved Mexican actress, and she's won all sorts of prestigious awards for other like she's like really famous apparently in Mexico. Yeah,
the sister was funny too. The sister, I think I've seen a few things. I don't remember what.
I thought the girl who played like the agent or like the niece of Sandra, the villain. Who was the villain?
I don't know her
Is
name.
it Sandra something?
For some reason, I thought it was Sigourney Weaver, but then
No,
I
it's. I can
It's,
see she was like a soap opera. No,
I know her from a few things, but I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
but what are you saying though?
I thought she was good. The one that played her niece.
Yeah, she was good. We cut you off. You had something to say about the Flash.
The Flash. Oh, I liked him more than Madam Web.
Yeah, I haven't seen Madam Web. I'm not even gonna bother.
Not like it. I don't know if I want to segue out of the Oscars now, but Madam Web. It's probably like I don't mean to sound dramatic, but I think it's the worst superhero film I've seen.
I asked Chris about this earlier because you guys, if you've seen any of our previous videos, you know my thoughts on Morbius. Is it worse than Morbius?
It is.
Liked it the most out of everyone here.
Morbius or Madam Web?
Morbius.
I enjoyed Morbius more than Madam Web.
I didn't think Morbius was an atrocity like people think. I thought it was bad.
I thought it was.
I had a great time watching Morbius.
I don't think it's an atrocity. I don't think it's a good movie, but I also don't think it's a it's entertaining.
Madam Web did everything wrong.
Also,
Really?
sorry, it's Susan Sarandon that was the villain in Blue Beetle, the redhead lady.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was saying Sandra.
Sandra Bullock, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Sarandon, Sandra.
Yeah.
They both begin with an S.
Yeah. Susan, Sandra. Kind of sounds similar. But
I know you haven't seen it. I don't want to go into spoilers with you.
You can spoil it all day long.
It's
I'm
so
probably
bad.
not going to watch it. It's not.
So you know how?
As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, "It's not even."
Are we doing spoilers in our revival podcast?
We can do like a beginning little clip, spoiler alert.
I guess a lot of people like under the same mentality.
How about let me do this?
Like, nobody cares about.
How about we do this?
Dakota Johnson didn't care.
Hey, how about we insert here? Spoiler alert for Madam Web. If you care, you probably don't. Nobody does.
Well, you already did it, so we're fine. I think you
skip
just
a little
said
bit
it.
ahead if you
Skip
if you want to watch
to the end.
I guess.
Not to the end. Sorry, I mean to the end of this discussion, whenever it may be.
If you're that one fan who actually wants to watch it, skip to the end.
If you are that one fan that wants to watch it, I am sorry.
Skip a couple minutes.
Okay, so
That's coming.
yeah, because I wrote a long letterbox review about Madam Web. I was not a happy camper.
You did. It was a
After that
novel.
movie.
It was a novel.
Yeah.
I just gave it a half a star and left it at that, and I changed the poster.
Yeah, I changed the poster too. I made a Criterion.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, that was a great poster. But yeah, no, like everything they could have done wrong was wrong in that movie. Like, you know, you've seen the trailer, right? Yeah. You know how it's like Madam Web and the three of the superheroes,
Like Spider.
the three
Girl,
of the
woman?
the three. They don't exist.
They're only in dream sequences.
There's two scenes in the entire movie where they're in costume, and they're both dream sequences.
They're basically setting it up for these characters to be in the Sony like Marvel universe later down the down the line.
Movie?
No,
it's not a setup, but it's essentially what they're trying to do. Is like, hey, this Sydney Sweeney will be. Is it Spider Girl, Spider Woman?
Spider dead because at this point.
She will be a Spider person.
The franchise is dead.
It is dead.
Yeah.
But I think what they were hoping for that if this movie did well, they would be able to do like a Spider Girl or Woman, whatever she is, movie down the line. Because you see them in their costumes, but it's only in dream sequences, and it's stupid, and I hate it.
The villain dreams that these girls are going to kill him, and he's been having these dreams for like 30 years, and then at the end of the movie, Madam Web envisions. She goes, "I see a bright future for all of you," and she envisions them in their costumes.
That's the dumbest shit I think I've
So-
ever heard in my life.
And she's in hers, but have you ever seen Madam Web like in a comic book? Like what her character looks like? She's this old, like frail woman.
Well, I'm fine with them not doing because it's a prequel. To
Well, it is a prequel, but in the comic book she wears because she's blind, right? She's not blind for most of it. She gets blind at the very end of this movie.
Do you want to know how she gets blinded?
Sure.
By Pepsi.
Pepsi. A firework comes off the Pepsi sign and hits her in the face while she's in the water.
It blinds her in the last 2 minutes of the movie.
And in the comic book, she wears like this like white silk thing on her face. In the movie, she's just wearing like red sunglasses, essentially. And I'm like, what the and also in the comic book, she has like these like arms that go around. So okay, let me explain because I know I knew her already in the comics.
I knew nothing.
So in the I like the Spider-Man universe. In the the comic universe. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
In the comic universe, Madam Web is a character who can see the future, so she can tell you what your future is going to be like. She basically connects, also like in the comics, she basically connects all the webs, the threads of all the different universes together. So like there's a game, there's like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's a pretty important character in that game because the dimensions get shattered. Like some artifact of hers she has gets stolen and broken. You have to go get the pieces, and it's just like a whole thing. Huh. That's her character, right? So she basically is guarding in the Spider-Man universe like the connections of the different universes, multiverses. There's in this movie. There's no allusion to that. There's nothing. They don't make any.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that from the movie.
Yeah, you wouldn't. If you didn't know who her character was, you wouldn't get any of that from this movie. You just get, oh, it's this girl who can see the future. Yeah. Wow.
It sounds like Sony maybe should just give up with Marvel. Like, they're not making great movies.
I will
they're
say,
just kind of shitting on the Spider-Verse.
I didn't mind the first Venom, the first Tom Hardy Venom. I thought it was decent, enjoyable, but then Let There Be Carnage was just bad. And I was so upset because Woody Harrelson is in it. And I thought he was... Carnage. Oh, when they were like, oh, he's going to be Cletus Cassidy. I was like, oh, that's great. That's actually great casting.
Yeah.
And it's not him that's bad. It's just... the script is awful.
Well, isn't it the same two people who wrote all these movies?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, like Madam Web is from the writers of Morbius.
They're from the what?
The writers of Morbius.
Of course. Makes sense.
And we didn't even get into the ADR issue.
Oh my god,
So the villain talks, but almost every scene probably about 80% of his scenes, you don't see his face when he talks. Like the camera pans down. It's almost like they added in like post production, like after audio.
ADR, additional dialogue recording. What the fuck? So, but then when you do see his face and it's the ADR, it doesn't match up.
Yeah, there's a close up on his face and his mouth was moving. It wasn't matching what he was saying.
It sounds like when you're listening to the ADR, it sounds like an AI. It's not an AI,
but it sounds like this podcast. Like if you go back to this podcast, it sounds like something.
It sounds like if text like a text to speech. It's not, but that's the kind of quality it is.
That's dumb.
Like a GPS kind of voice.
Yeah.
It's my theory is like maybe he kept messing up his lines too much. So they reshot it and only used angles that didn't really show him when he was talking, and then they had him go into a booth.
They should just have Deadpool kill that universe too.
And whatever studio he was in recording, like just didn't care because it was just awful quality record. It was so bad. And I already told you that this is the CPR. She's a paramedic. If you don't know, she's a paramedic. In the movie,
and you know who her buddy is, right?
Her buddy, Adam Ben Parker, played by Adam Scott, who I love. I love Adam Scott. Ben Parker, like Peter's dad,
Peter's uncle.
Yeah, uncle. You know the guy in the trailer who's like with her.
Yeah,
that's Uncle Ben.
That's Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He keeps talking about his sister Mary Parker, her husband Richard.
She's pregnant with Peter Parker.
Yeah. Her husband Richard is on like some business trip somewhere
in Cambodia.
Wait, is that right? I thought it was Aunt May was like.
No, I know, but Ben's sister is Peter's mom.
Oh, I had it backwards. I thought Aunt May was like related to his.
Well, it's Ben Parker.
Okay, that makes sense.
At least in this universe.
Yeah.
So like, and also like Ben Parker keeps talking. Oh, I met a girl, and he's like, yeah, I've been seeing someone. And Dakota Johnson's like, what's her name? And he's like, oh, you would like... Like, he never says her name, but he was like, oh, you would like her. She's a great girl. And it's obviously, like, supposed to be May.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends, they keep hyping up baby Peter Parker. You know it's baby Peter Parker, but they never call him Peter.
No.
Yeah. And then there's a scene where they're like, oh, the baby's name is, and a balloon pops. It's like...
Oh.
It wasn't even, like, a fun bad, like... It was like, where you could like laugh, like
Morbius. I probably felt the way you felt about Morbius. To be honest.
Yeah.
For me, Morbius had parts where you could like laugh, like it was not good, but you could laugh at it.
And there's at least a fun performance. Like Matt Smith was fun.
Like he gave it everything he had.
Nobody cared in this movie.
No, and Dakota Johnson has gone on record to say that she just didn't care. She goes, I just didn't have fun.
Makes sense.
She's only seen like 3% of the Marvel movies, so she had no idea. She didn't know anything.
She thought she was signing for an MCU movie,
Yeah.
and she actually got rid of her agent and went to a new agency after this movie.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's weird.
But like you say, like Madame Web sounds like a cool character. Like using her powers to mend the multiverse together. Yeah. In this movie, once she figures out how to use her powers, she predicts when people sneeze.
Yeah,
that's the end of the movie. Like one of the Spider Girls is.
She basically adopts the three kids, the three girls.
One of the girls is in the room with her, and then Madame Web says, "Bless you." She goes, "Bless you." What do you mean? And she goes, "Achoo."
And she goes, "Oh, thanks." And then she goes, "Oh, thanks."
That's dumb.
There's this scene in a diner, and the three girls are dancing on a table to Britney Spears' "Toxic."
Is it the one where the car drives?
Yeah.
It's the villain has to be one of the worst villains I've ever seen.
Am I up against the wall?
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
Can you tell how frustrated I am?
Yeah, I can tell. I haven't seen this movie. I'm probably not going to watch this movie.
You'll wait till you can find it somewhere.
It's the worst. Also, there's not much action in it, but the action is the worst. Like there are points where the camera literally just flips upside down. I'm like,
yeah, I saw that in the trailer. I was like,
yeah, there's a lot of scenes like that.
Yeah, when he jumped to the ceiling and somehow threw her backwards. I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, there was shots where so he was on the ceiling running, but then cops were being pulled under things, and I was like, is there more than one of them? Like what?
Yeah,
they don't even explain. Like what was the point? The villain had no point. Like he's like he got
bit by the spider and he got these powers from that spider.
Yeah, but the whole time he goes, I gotta stop these girls. They're gonna kill me. I can't let everything I've built up to fall apart. But it's like, what did he build?
They never say.
They never say what he built.
So
the best part of this movie is that the villain sleeps with an NSA agent. And she's like a top NSA agent, so he kills her by just touching her because his touch is poison. And then he takes her NSA technology and is able to hack into every single.
It's a USB.
But he's able to hack into every single camera in New York City. And then he has this psychic girl, and then he's like, okay, this is what I think these three girls look like based on my dream. Find them in New York City, all of New York City. They're looking for three girls. And they find them within a day.
They're in the same.
They happen to. They all
happen to be in Grand Central Station at the same time.
But even then, how did you even find them?
No, and also
out of everyone in New York City,
he's like, show me what they might look like in 10 years, and then the computer shows just really shitty AI created image of these girls 10 years later.
And this movie takes place in 2003.
It's so all of this technology doesn't actually even exist yet.
Yeah,
and it's and I'm trying to figure out how did this movie get greenlit? How
this movie's giving me such a headache.
How did it get greenlit?
I think they should just give up. How I don't want to say Fox gave up, but they made a deal with Marvel to take in all of their big.
Well, Fox sold it to Marvel back to Marvel.
Yeah,
so Sony doesn't want to let go.
Yeah, because they have one of their most important assets, which is Spider-Man.
So she basically was her mom died, and her mom was researching this particular spider, and the villain had been hired to be her as security.
Yeah.
But the villain wanted the spider because he knew it had some kind of powers, and if you got bit by it, you would get these. Because there were these people that live in the jungle that have these they're strong and they're fast and they can see the future.
Yeah, they're all on red paint, and then they jump up and down like spiders.
Also, that random guy just showed up at near the end when she goes to the jungle.
Yeah.
And you're like, who the? And he's like, I've been waiting for you. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
He was the guy from the beginning who said he would be waiting for her.
Yeah.
there was a guy in the beginning who said, I will wait for her.
But they say that, and then he doesn't come back till almost the end of the movie, and you're like, what the?
And then she leaves because the villain's hunting these three girls, and then Madame Web's all of a sudden I gotta go to Peru. Here, Uncle Ben, take care of these three girls.
and then sister starts going into labor.
Yeah, then Mary Parker goes into labor. And then he's like, hey, I know you guys are at risk. I know there's all the security camera issues that they can see you. Rather than just staying at this house, let's all take a trip in the car. Put the pregnant woman in the back seat, crammed next to two other people instead of in the front seat, and drive to the hospital. And then Madame Web steals the ambulance. And then she drives her car through a skyscraper or through a big building. And it's how did she get her ambulance inside the building on the 5th floor? I don't even know how that happened.
It was a parking garage.
Oh, it was a parking garage? Still.
Still, that's... my head hurts.
But she drives into the villain twice in the movie in the diner.
Those
and
are the
then-
only times she beats the villain. She drives it. She runs a car over the villain. That's the only time she beats him every time.
It's so bad. Like the dialogue was bad. The acting was just not good because you could tell they didn't care.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are like, well, Sydney Sweeney wasn't even a good actress anyway, so it kind of fits. I was like, that doesn't matter. It shouldn't be
She is
this
a good
bad.
actress.
It
She's
doesn't
not
matter what you
bad.
think of her. It shouldn't be this bad.
Yeah, she's not a bad actress.
No, she's
actually
not.
pretty good. Have you seen
I've seen some of Euphoria, yeah.
There's one scene where she's like talking into a mirror, and I thought it was really good. She's talking about how like, she just like she's a people pleaser and she does all this stuff for everybody and nobody ever talks to her or something like that. But I thought it was a pretty good scene. And then she's in some decent movies, but she's just.
I haven't seen.
Like, she's in a new movie coming out. I forget what it's called.
I haven't seen the new one with the guy from Top Gun yet. That she's in, Glenn Campbell.
Powell, I haven't
Oh,
seen
anyone but you. I heard that's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Just
she's in
ironically
another-
enough, she gets bitten by a spider in that too.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't get bitten by a spider in this one.
No,
She's in
but-
another more serious movie. I think it's by A24. I think it's called like Immaculate or something like that.
Oh, I think I see something about that.
Yeah. I
It
think I
looks
heard that.
decent. It's like something about like churches and a nun or something like that. It looks like kind of a horror movie, but I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I have to stop talking about Madam Web because it's like actually annoying me.
Oh, good segue. Have you guys seen that they finally casted the Fantastic Four?
I did.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
Vanessa
Pedro
Kirby
Pascal, Vanessa Kirby.
from Napoleon.
Yep.
That guy. Sorry,
And Hobbs and
Vanessa
Shaw.
Kirby was the love interest in Napoleon, right?
Yeah, she was.
I'm sorry to backtrack back to Napoleon for a second, but what was up with the scene where Napoleon gets on his hands and knees, runs under the table like a dog, and barks at the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, and then he starts.
That was one of the things I
doing
didn't like about
stuff with
Napoleon,
her.
is that they focus way too heavily on his like love life. This is one of the most dominant war generals in history.
And
I don't give a
kings,
fuck
like
about
emperors.
his. Yeah, I don't give a shit about his love interest. Show me this man just dominating another country. Like, what are you doing? I don't care about his love interest or that he was a horny bastard. Just show me him killing another army. This dude. And then at the end, they just showed all of these like, oh, he did this. This many people died. He invaded this country. This many people died. He invaded this country. This many people. Show me those fucking countries. I don't give a shit that he wants to eat his wife out under the table. Who the fuck cares? Show me this war general. I want to be scared of this guy. And like, they chose the right person. Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. But like, it just
He
seemed like
was the only
just-
person without a French accent.
Yeah, that also didn't make sense. To
Oh,
me. I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on here?
He was just doing his. He was just.
Yeah, I was like, why do you have an American accent? What the fuck? And then I was like, that plus, they just made him seem goofy. Like, really goofy.
Well, he was very insecure, I think.
Yeah, but it just seemed too goofy. Like, from what I know of Napoleon, I don't know too much about him from, like, school, but I remember that he's one of those guys that people were like, yeah, he was one of the most feared leaders in history.
He was a great tactician when it came to
Yeah.
battle.
And, like, some of the scenes were great. Like, the scene on the
But he was
on
also
the frozen
impulsive.
lake.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
But he was also impulsive, which was to his detriment.
Yeah. And then, like, that beginning scene, the beginning battle where he, like, climbed the wall and he was covered in blood.
Mm.
And
The horses just...
Yeah, the cannonball just, like, exploded his horse. I was like, all right, we're in for a good-ass movie.
I
We're in
watched it
for
and I
a
was like,
crazy
Jesus
movie.
Christ.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man, we're in for some
But then I
some
was just
crazy
bored.
shit.
Like, it was just bored
Yeah.
me the rest of the movie. I was like, and it was dragged. It was too
Like,
slow.
I don't care that his wife wasn't able to give him a son. I want to see him kill all these people in these goddamn wars. Like, I don't care about a lot of this love interest stuff. You're telling me about this general, and I want to see him at war.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest things I didn't like about the movie. Was just like there's just too much love interest, too much of a love story. I didn't really care about any of that. I like the scenes where he was at battle and he was killing people, and it was brutal. that was I want to see more of. But yeah, I thought that was also weird that he didn't have a French accent. like why are you the only person in this movie who has an American accent? Even Vanessa Kirby, I'm pretty sure, had a French accent.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
But
Yeah, she's
Sue Storm.
Sue
Sue
Storm.
Storm.
And the guy from the Bear, Eben Moss-Baccarat,
Yeah.
he's playing Ben Grimm, the
This
thing.
is his second role in the MCU.
Is it?
Yeah, he played Micro in the Punisher show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which he was really good in. So I think it's a weird casting as Ben Grimm, but I'm excited to see
It kind of
He's
works,
good.
though.
Yeah, and he's a good actor, so I'd like to see it. Have you seen him in The Bear or in like the Punisher?
I've seen the Bear, yeah.
He's pretty good. I like it.
Also, it was a Joseph Quinn. Is that his name? The guy that's playing
The Human Torch.
Yeah.
I've never
Isn't
heard
he?
of it before.
What is he from? I've
He's
seen.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's
he's
what
the
I
guy
thought.
from season 4.
Yeah.
that everyone likes, with the guitar.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's,
Eddie something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's playing the Human Torch?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know who he was, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Now that you're telling me that, I'm kind of excited for it.
This guy.
A friend of mine, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
A friend of mine dreamcasted the Fantastic Four, a couple years ago. He didn't do the Thing, because, the Thing is more just a voice. But, he was saying that Zac Efron as the Human Torch, and I was like, that kind of makes sense. And then he was saying John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Mr. Richards and...
I don't know why they didn't try to get John Krasinski back. Maybe they did.
I know.
Maybe they did behind the scenes and he couldn't, but...
I don't know. That seemed like it would have been an easy go. Everybody would have watched
The
it.
hiccups.
And then if you got Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman, that would have been a fantastic duo. And then a great team. And Zac Efron in the mix. I think...
Zac Efron as Human Torch?
As a Human Torch.
I kept saying this. If they were to ever do Doctor Doom, I think Adam Driver would make such a good Doom.
Yes.
Because, listen, you can take off the mask. You don't have to, whatever. But it's his demeanor, the voice, he's a big enough guy.
Yeah.
He's tall.
The way he was Kylo Ren, I saw a lot of Doctor Doom in Kylo Ren.
It's that slow,
methodical,
commanding.
Yeah, exactly. So he'd be a good one. Another
Josh Brolin.
Is he coming back as Doctor Doom?
No, this was Josh Brolin, Doctor Doom.
No, he was Thanos. Is he coming as Doctor Doom?
No, I'm just saying if they didn't use him as Thanos, he could have been a good. He could have been a good Doom as well.
He's already been 2 Marvel characters.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if he wasn't, he could have been a good Doom as well.
He could have been a good Doom
because he's got that same
Yeah, I also think Glenn Powell could have been a good Human Torch.
Yeah,
I didn't think so before.
He's got that
until
He's got that Chris Evans kind of Human Torch thing. Yeah.
I didn't think so until I saw Top Gun Maverick, and then I was like, okay, I can see this guy.
Speaking of Chris Evans as Human Torch, are they bringing him back in Deadpool 3?
We didn't even talk about
that. Would be good.
The rumors is that he's gonna go. Is that Deadpool's supposed to go to all of the different Fox movies, and Chris Evans, I believe, he signed a contract a year or 2 ago to do 2 more Marvel movies. I'm assuming he's going to have some sort of Captain Marvel cameo, a flashback cameo or something like that in Brave New World or whatever they call it, or New World Order.
Captain America?
The 4th one that's coming out.
No, you said Captain Marvel. I was confused for a second.
Oh, yeah, no, Captain America.
Captain America, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to have a
Harrison
cameo in the new Captain America.
Yeah, he probably is going to be in that one. And then I could see him in the Deadpool.
Yeah, it's
even
probably
a small cameo.
Yeah.
Or in the next Avengers movie.
Well, because if you watch the Marvels too, they introduced the X-Men Fox into
Yeah.
That was the best part about that movie. Literally was that. That was it. That was the only good thing about that movie.
Which movie?
The Marvels.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
No,
did they do?
the end credit scene is the best part. Do you guys care?
I watched the end credit scene because I didn't care about watching the movie.
So one of the characters ends up in some alternate universe, and she's in a hospital. When she wakes up, she hears a voice, and she looks, and it's just Beast. It's in Beast. He's
from X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not.
No, it's the
First Class.
No, it's
the guy.
The guy. It's
Kelsey
the same.
Grammer.
Yeah,
Really?
It's the same. It was him.
Shit.
It was him.
That's awesome.
Or his voice, not him. It was his voice.
He was a really good Beast. A lot of people shit on X-Men 3. I like X-Men 3.
But
I've only seen X-Men 1.
It was
Really?
Beast.
I need to watch those.
Wasn't Evan Peters there?
No, he came in First Class.
It was a woman that was there with them.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it was Beast, and then there was someone else. It wasn't Mystique.
Was it Jean Grey or Storm?
It might have been Storm.
Halle Berry?
No,
it wasn't. No. But there was somebody else in there. I can't remember who it was, but I remember Beast because that was the one that everyone was like, oh, no way!
Yeah.
That was the best part about the whole movie.
He was a good Beast. He was probably the better Beast of the two, I think. Nicholas Hoult is good, but I don't know if I.
But she didn't know where she was, and they're like, we're gonna figure out how to get you out of here.
That's a good.
I can't find who the other person was, but I did find the picture.
I was like,
show me the picture. I might know.
No, I mean the picture of Beast.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks weird.
He's all CGI.
Okay.
There's no yeah. he was in his like that form. It wasn't like he was him, you know.
Yeah. Well, in X-Men 3, he's all of that.
I know.
He never changes back. But it's because he's older.
And he doesn't care.
Really care.
He doesn't need to.
He's like a politician in the third one, I think.
Mm-hmm. But he's doing it as like.
Yeah.
It's so.
3 I thought was really good. I actually like that beginning trilogy.
The 1, 2, and 3?
Good. Yeah, X-Men 1, X2, and then The Last Stand.
Was that technically X3 then? The Last Stand?
Yeah, that's X3.
Yeah, X3 The Last Stand. It was good. A lot of people don't like it, and I don't know why.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, yeah.
I feel like after that, though, they were very, like, hit or miss.
Yeah, like Days of Future Past.
I know a lot of people hated the Juggernaut meme.
Oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, that was a meme before. I guess I mean we were too young, but I guess that was like an early internet meme, like a few years before X-Men 3 came out.
What year did
that
come out?
And then they referenced that in the movie, and people were like, ugh.
What year did X3 come out?
Like 2006 or something like that.
2008.
Jesus.
2008.
Wait, like actually?
I think 2002 was the first one. 2004. Oh, 2006. Okay.
Yeah, 2000. I think
it was 2002, 2004, and then 2006. I thought it was 2008, but I could have been. Oh, 2008 was X.
I thought the first
Spider-Man
one. I thought X-Men 1. Yeah, X-Men 1 is 2000. X2 is 2003, and Last Stand is 2006.
Okay, I'm mixing it up with the Spider-Man trilogy, with the Tobey Maguire trilogy, because I think Spider-Man 3 came out in 2008.
Can I say something?
2007,
about Spider-Man 3, a lot of people like talk about how bad that movie is. I think there's a lot of good to it.
Yeah.
But it's just it's overcrowded.
It is way too crowded.
I think there's good there. There really is. And I still have a good time whenever I watch it.
Yeah, I think they were like, oh shit, we only have Toby for one more movie. But
it was a studio. Sam Raimi wanted to do it one way, but then the studio was like, no, put these people in. Sam Raimi didn't want to.
Yeah.
They were planning a fourth movie, but that got scrapped.
It did. That's why the studio was like, do all this now.
Well, probably because they overcrowded the third movie, and then they were like, well, how are we going to make the fourth movie bigger? And it's like, you're not supposed to make it bigger.
I think they leaked some of the script a year or two ago. And I think the rumor was, it was supposed to like have like Peter Parker and Mary Jane divorced or something like that. And then I think what was it, Vulture was going to be the villain.
See, that would have been good.
Didn't Vulture show up at the end of Venom 2, and then like nothing happened with it?
At the end of Venom 2?
Yeah, remember like
no, he showed up at the end of Morbius. Yeah, he was like he just showed up in a prison cell, and they were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Yeah.
Was it? No, I thought like he is like.
No, then he tried to recruit Morbius.
Oh, he came down in like the helicopter, right? And he's like,
"I'm building a team.
He's like,
fight Spider-Man." Or something.
This is Michael Morbius or whatever his name is.
I thought that was dumb. They never did anything with it. And
well, remember like at the end of the first Spider-Man Tom Holland movie. Remember they showed what's his name?
Scorpion or something.
Scorpion, like the guy from Breaking Bad is Scorpion.
Yeah, he plays Nacho.
They never did anything with that.
No, and I was like excited. I was like, oh, that's so cool. They got like that's good that's a pretty good casting.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's from
because he's so good at playing like insane.
Yeah, and him as Nacho.
He's also in Far Cry 3.
Yeah,
he's a villain.
He's Haas.
He's
Voss.
Well, I remember playing.
He was great in that.
I remember playing the game, and I was like, "Hey, that's Nacho."
Yeah, he's arguably the more like the most popular villain in the entire series.
I thought 5 was kind of an interesting villain. I didn't love the game, but I thought it was a good villain.
Joseph Seed, he was good. But arguably one of the best villains, and he was actually. He just sent in a tape as Voss, and they saw it, and they were like, "Who is this guy?" They were like, "We didn't even plan on having Voss in the game until we saw that video."
It was just going to be like voice.
Yeah, at least I think that's what it was. I thought I saw something like that.
I saw that too.
Yeah, he said he just sent in some kind of audition tape for a villain, just a random villain, and then they were like, "We love this. Like, come in, let's make this guy happen." But he was my favorite, at least my favorite of the entire series. Him and 3, 4, and 5 are fantastic games. I love.
Which one's 4? Oh, 4 is the one on like the mountain,
the Himalayas. Or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, Pagan Min, the guy he's like the pink.
That's Troy Baker.
Is it Troy Baker? That's awesome.
I love Troy Baker.
Yeah. We're not gonna get into like video games now.
No, but and sorry, I off topic.
No, it's okay. But that guy as Scorpion was really good casting.
What time? What were you running at for time?
1:10, 1 hour 10.
An hour and 10 minutes.
So why don't we maybe wrap it up for?
To you guys. What are you saying?
I don't care. I'm fine with keep going if you want.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know how
Or
long
like-
you wanted to.
Or like you said,
really-
if you wanted to
choose-
cut and try a second video, like if,
Oh, I don't mind.
if there's another topic you want to do, you can split to a second
Well, we
video.
talked about like what we'd be doing with the podcast when we came back, and if it would be like specific subjects, or if we would just do kind of like a general podcast. I think the general podcast would probably be a little bit easier for us right now.
Yeah,
Just
I
kind of like
think-
this. Just,
Yeah,
I think we
exactly.
should still have like one or two topics that we know we want to discuss during the general podcast. But other
Yeah.
than that, I think it should be
Well,
free reign.
yeah.
Look at this. Like I want to talk about the Oscars, but everything else it was kind of just and it just feels much more natural.
And then we beat Madam Web like a dead horse, and I
Yeah.
feel
Oh my God.
I feel like you were getting.
I was getting worked
I
up
was
about
like,
it.
what the fuck is this movie?
I was getting
I-
so
I-
worked up.
I felt bad because we were talking about like 20 minutes and you hadn't seen the movie, so you couldn't.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Like you'd be like, I was like, oh
I
no.
wasn't planning on it.
I
The
would
first time I saw the
I
trailer,
would
this looked like
say
trash.
just go watch one of the Smurfs movies. It's probably much better.
Yeah, I wasn't really planning on it, but I think we went from the Oscars into like Marvel news because there was a lot. Which one of the biggest pieces of news we didn't talk about? Which also
We started talking about Deadpool, and we never actually talked.
well, not Deadpool, but we talked a little bit about Deadpool, and then there was another piece of big news that we didn't talk about
For
on our
Marvel?
podcast yet. Yeah, but in terms of like how long, if you're the one editing, if you feel like it's too long, we can wrap it up. But if you want to keep, if you don't mind editing like a longer,
Yeah, no.
audio,
Well,
It's
I mean,
'cause-
audio is easier anyway. So
Yeah.
I just have to
Yeah.
like play it back at a faster speed and like make sure it sounds nice. And I can actually probably cut off some of the dead air or any like mistakes we make.
Any of
Yeah.
this too, or who we keep this in?
Yeah, I don't care.
we can keep it in. I just mean like if you don't mind the longer video, we can just keep going. But
Yeah.
we'll leave it up to you because you're the one editing it.
Am I peaking or am I doing
No,
okay?
nobody's peaked.
Oh, good. So if you're okay with us, keep going. One of the biggest news I've heard is that we no longer have a Kang.
Oh yeah.
Is that confirmed?
That's confirmed. He's
They
out.
they
He's
they
gone.
dropped the King
I did see
Dynasty
that. I didn't know if that.
title.
When I saw that was just. It was just rumored by an insider. It hadn't been confirmed yet.
They confirmed it a few days ago.
Did
Yeah.
they? Okay.
Yeah, they confirmed he's gone. And
Because
they're gonna- that's why when you said the whole Doctor Doom thing earlier, I was like, perfect segue. Because now I think they're
That's-
kind of moving into
well,
the
they-
Doctor Doom.
They're trying to get Javier Bardem to be Galactus.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Javier Bardem.
No, not
Doctor
Doctor Doom.
Doom.
No,
I was
they
like,
they're trying to get him to be
That'd be
Galactus. I
okay.
feel like Galactus will be the next big one.
yeah. Galactus
I forget what
would be-
movie they want him in.
I think it's Fantastic Four.
Maybe.
Why don't they just get MODOK back? No, just kidding.
Moldog is the next Thanos.
Oh,
What was that actor?
it was the bald guy from Ant-Man 1.
Yeah, the guy who played the
Bumblebee.
original. Yeah,
Darren or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
It was Darren.
Yeah, he
I
played
can't remember the actor name, but I've also seen him in other things.
Probably.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He's not a
in,
bad actor.
He's in that movie Salt with
With the,
I
Angelina
didn't
Jolie.
like that one.
It was decent,
I-
but I thought it was confusing.
I've seen him. He's not a bad actor, but it's just
He's just not
Quantumania
bad.
was just so disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't
It's
10
great.
minutes- 10 minutes into the movie before explaining anything, they were already into the quantum realm. I was like, what the fuck, guys? You gave us a spark notes on what happened, and now you guys are in this brand new realm. Like, what's going on?
I was really hoping
Maybe
it'd be
little
like
more
a
setup?
like a really good trilogy of Ant-Man, because the first two I really like the first two Ant-Man
Yeah.
and
Ant-Man and
Ant-Man
Ant-Man and Wasp.
yeah Ant-Mans.
Yeah. They were really good. And then
And
the
I was
third
just
one
like, there was so much potential for this because it was so much bigger, and it was
yeah. And Paul Rudd as Ant-Man is like the perfect casting.
Paul Rudd's good in anything he's in.
Yeah.
I've not seen him in, even if the movie he's in isn't great, I'm not like watching like, oh, he wasn't good. He's always just good because he always gives everything his all.
Yeah. He's
It's
fantastic.
like Ryan Reynolds is the same exact way, I feel like, for
Yeah.
me. Even if it's not a good movie, I'm like, oh, he's fun.
It's Gosling for me. He does it every movie. It doesn't matter what the movie is. He's fantastic.
Downey
Are you excited
Jr.
for that new one he's in? The new David Leitch movie?
Oh,
The Fall Guy or something.
Yeah, the Fall Guy.
Yes.
You know that's
I've
based
seen
on a
trailer
show?
for that one. No.
It's I think the show's just called the same thing. Fall.
Yeah, I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan, and I do want to like watch more of his movies. So I think The Fall Guy is definitely where I'm.
Yeah, the Fall Guy, a show from from 1981. It had 5 seasons. Oh, Lee Majors was in it. He was a $6 Million Man.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
The show also had Dennis Fimple and Joanne Flug.
Who are those people?
I don't either.
Yeah.
This
Those
is
are weird
this
names.
is Dennis Fimple.
There was some guy who had to play he played like a hot dude. Oh, have you ever seen the show You?
No.
Oh, that's the one with the girl from like The Haunting of Hill House and stuff, right?
Yeah.
The one with like the
a
stalker, yeah.
In the second season, there's like this guy. He's his neighbor, and he is like this hot dude. He's like this thing, and then I saw his name in real life, and his last name is Von Winkle, and I was like, "What the fuck, Von Winkle?"
The Winklevoss
It was
twins.
funny as hell, dude. But yeah, that's another one. Marvel seems like it might be on a decent path now. I think hopefully after Deadpool 3, it might get a little bit better.
I think
they've had kind of a dry spell the last two phases, like phase 4. Because phase 5 is over now, right?
Is it?
Yeah, Deadpool's the only movie for Marvel coming out this year, like MCU movie.
Yeah.
I think the way they're trying to, like they're what they're trying to do with it. I think that they're really, like, preying on the fact that this will be the movie that saves the MCU. It's the first R-rated Marvel, or at least MCU movie, right? Marvel movie.
That's a lot.
No, not the first rated R-rated Marvel movie.
But MCU.
The other Deadpool's are.
But I'm sorry, but to MCU.
It'll be the first MCU.
I mean,
since the acquisition, this could be the first one.
Yeah, and
first one to get.
I wonder how many more they're gonna do, because I didn't they confirm that Blade
is. No, like it's R.
It is. I thought they confirmed it was PG-13.
It is good.
I
heard they were moving to PG-13. I think it's a waste of time.
Deadpool 3 is the first one to get a red band trailer as well, which is why they couldn't actually show it during the Super Bowl.
Well, that's good.
They like teased it and they're like full trailer out now.
Yeah. I think it's good. It's a lot of weight to put on Deadpool's shoulders, but I feel like the type of character he is, he could pull it off. Like, he's that kind of meta character who can make fun of the MCU and and say like, yeah, we know the last two phases were pieces of shit, but here we are with the phase 6 or something like that. I didn't even realize phase 5 was done. I haven't paid attention to it since like She-Hulk, and that was the last show that I watched.
I haven't seen any of the shows.
Yeah, the shows there's some that are really good and there's some that are just shitty.
That's also kind of why I didn't really watch the Marvels, because it seemed like I need to watch them. I mean, I've seen Captain Marvel, but you need to watch a movie and 2 shows to really understand what was going on. It sounded like.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel has her own movie, Miss Marvel has her own show,
and then Secret Invasion, right? Because Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, Secret Invasion. Oh, then technically 4, because the third one, I forgot her name. I think it's like Marvel or something like that. She's in WandaVision.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Oh, so, Rambeau, Captain Rambeau.
Rambeau, wherever she's in WandaVision, so that's 3 shows and a movie to really be caught up on everything. But that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to watch. And I haven't seen all of Miss Marvel. I haven't seen the Marvels. I watched WandaVision and Captain Marvel, and WandaVision was good, but she wasn't like the main person in that show, so I didn't really care too much about her. Captain Marvel wasn't great. I mean, I was kind of interested to see it, but I'm not.
It's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it sometime soon.
I'm gonna watch it soon too, probably. Because it feels weird not seeing. I didn't even see it in theaters. It feels weird not seeing the Marvel movie in theaters. Now,
Yeah.
Like I just had no interest in it. I only saw Blue Beetle in theaters as well. I didn't see Shazam 2. I didn't see. No, I saw Flash.
Shazam 2 was such a waste of time. I hated it so much. I was like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here?
I like the first Shazam. Yeah, I don't understand, like, because it's the same director, the same writer. I don't really understand how that happened.
Shazam 2 is just so boring. I was like, dude, it just seems like Shazam complaining about everything. And I'm like, can you shut up and just fight this villain? Who cares if you don't have a family? You just took on an entire bad guy in your first movie. Like, you took on that guy and then you only had help from them at the end. Dude, who fucking cares? Just be Shazam. And then they spent most of the time as, like, the superheroes. I was like, guys, just be fucking kids for a little bit. Like, you guys aren't superheroes. You guys are kids. Be fucking kids for a minute. But it didn't seem very good for me. Which sucks, because I was excited, because Shazam 1 was really good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. I was
Yeah.
a little surprised that it didn't do well. I need to see that one though.
Yeah.
I didn't see Aquaman either.
Blue Beetle was good. I didn't watch Aquaman either.
I didn't. I tried. I started watching it.
What'd you watch it on? Oh, Chris has like an underground thing that we're not aware of.
No, it's on
Chris has
Monday.
a secret movie theater in his
I
basement.
didn't want to pay.
Chris has secret access.
You didn't want to pay for it. Don't you ever go unlimited?
Yeah, but it was already. It wasn't by the time I was like, I'll see it. But I started. I couldn't finish it. It was just so bad. I think when it comes to HBO, I'll try to like watch it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. It was.
Yeah.
I watched like 10, 15 minutes of it, and I was like,
That's the last DC movie, right?
DC's also.
Yeah, that's how they decided to go out with Jason Momoa. Is that
Is he back? Is he gonna come back?
No, I
No.
guess they're recasting him too.
Oh, they are.
I'm really
Which is
interested.
Because
to
I heard that they were keeping Ezra Miller.
That would be the dumbest move ever. How are you getting rid of everybody except for the one dickhead who almost tanked your entire company?
The one who
What?
fights the entire state of Hawaii.
Yeah, you had the casting for Superman and you fucked him up. You had the casting for Shazam and you guys are messing it all up. Aquaman, you're just messing up the entire thing.
I think I mentioned this in the previous podcast episode too, but I would love it if they kept Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, had him retire and be a mentor for Batman Beyond. Like introduce Batman
Yeah,
Beyond.
I wouldn't
and
even
keep-
mind that.
Because, Ben Affleck's an older Batman. It would make a lot more sense to have him stay on as like a Bruce Wayne mentor type than Batman.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really.
wouldn't even mind that.
I trust James Gunn. I think he does a lot of good work.
I don't know.
I mean, Guardians,
He's got a lot to clean up. for this.
Peacemaker,
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad. He does have a lot to clean up.
He has a lot to
But what I've seen from him, like the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, the Guardians movies, I do think that he's capable of it.
He is, but I feel like he could have just
Dude,
he could have redone some of them, but I feel like he could have kept a lot of what they've already done because a lot of what they've already done is decent.
it's also
stuff.
not just him too. It's Peter Safran who's the other like head.
Yeah,
So he's not the only one making decisions. So there's got to be, there's got to be some kind of agreement in between. Maybe there's something that he wants, but Peter Safran doesn't. So it's got to be this kind of like.
yeah. Like I feel like Gal Gadot was a good Wonder Woman. If you would have kept some of like the core actors, I would have been happy. I think,
Not Ezra Miller.
yeah, the Flash would be the only one I would recast because he's kind of an asshole. But
Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, though, I think that's actually pretty good casting. Did you see the picture that James Gunn just posted with the cast?
I don't
And Nicholas Holt's got the shaved head, and
He just shaved head in the picture.
he did, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they need somebody a little bit more menacing. When I see Nicholas Hoult, I think of like
Sonic.
Sonic.
No, he wasn't Sonic.
No, that's
No.
that's James Marsden.
That's James Marsden. I think of like him in as Beast. He's just like this
Yeah,
goofy dude. I feel like, and even Jesse Eisenberg, I thought wasn't a great Lex Luthor.
No, Jesse Eisenberg wasn't,
But I
but
feel like Nicholas Holt's gonna be the same type of Lex Luthor, and it's just another
Lex
mistake.
Luthor isn't. I mean, he's not a big guy.
No, not a big guy, but he's a menacing guy. Like he's not
He
a
can
goofy
be.
dude. Yeah, when I think Lex Luthor, I think of like this businessman who's like secretly evil. I don't think of this like goofy millionaire like influencer guy, you know. And I think a good actress to play Lex Luthor would probably be somebody like. I think Tom Hardy would have been a hell of a Lex Luthor.
D'Onofrio.
I'm big on Tom Hardy for anybody, but I feel like the way he played Bane and he was very like menacing, very, he was very methodical with
Yeah.
all of his whatever he said or
Vince-
whatever he did.
Vincent D'Onofrio as Lex
Listen,
Luthor.
he would have been a great Lex Luthor, but he's already Kingpin, so
He is.
he can't be Lex Luthor.
He's also like not as big as they make him look in
Yeah,
the show.
he's
and stuff.
definitely not that big,
No.
but he's good too. Like somebody like that, somebody who's just not necessarily giant, but just like they have a presence, you know.
Do you have you ever seen Men in Black, the first one?
Yeah.
Do you remember the bug guy, the guy in the overall? That's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I took me the longest time because I was like, and then I finally like put two and two together, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, he's also in one
he's
of
a
those.
really good actor.
Yeah, he's in one of those Law and Order movies or
Yeah.
shows. Which one is it?
I don't watch Law and
It's
Order.
not SVU. I think it's It's the other famous one. It's not SVU, but he's in Law and Order. That's where he like kind of got big, and then he became like a movie actor. But he's a really good actor, and he would play a good Lex Luthor. Or who else? Just somebody who like has an evil, like a big, intimidating presence. I feel like would have been a good Lex Luthor. And I just don't see that in like Jesse Eisenberg or Nicholas Hoult. And I could be proved wrong. I could be proved wrong with Nicholas Hoult, but that's just how I feel right now with him. I'll have to see it to see how good he is as Lex Luthor. But if they give me that same stupid like little kid attitude that Jesse Eisenberg had, I would just.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't do that because he's such. I mean, they're both good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Nicholas Hoult playing it straight.
Yeah, I could see because he's very capable of doing, serious and.
Yeah, somebody like Woody fucking Harrelson would be a fantastic Lex Luthor. I think. Have you seen him in what's that movie with Kristen Bale?
Not American Psycho.
Out of the Furnace, where
No.
he plays like that biker, but he's very like evil and he's methodical. And he's very slow. And he's
I don't know. I feel like Harrison. Why do we keep Woody Harrelson?
He's a little bit old now.
He's old, but I also think he's known to be a little too goofy. I think he could, but I think he's just a lot of times you see him and he's just kind of like goofy.
Who?
Woody Harrelson.
He's sometimes goofy, but he can play both. Like he's just a really good actor.
Like I think of like Zombieland, like.
Yeah, he plays stuff like that, and then he goes on. He does like Out of the Furnace, or
I've never seen that.
You ever see that
No
movie?
Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old
Oh
Men.
yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, he was good in that one.
He's a really good, like serious and really good, just
that
angry
movie.
actor.
That scene where it's like Javier Bardem. He's like in like the gas station and he's like talking guy and he's got like that coin. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I actually haven't seen the movie.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Drew?
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Woody Harrelson's on that scene. I know what you're talking
No,
about.
but that scene is so good. It's such a good. I love that movie. It's so good.
It's a really good movie. I don't know if I'll do this year. I kind of want to do it this year. I want to just watch every single Best Picture movie. Go through all 95 of them.
Oh, like in history?
But yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't be a bad idea. 95 movies. Oof.
You could do it.
One. Yeah. Imagine watching all of them and all of the nominations.
Even if you've already seen them. I think Citizen Kane was nominated for Best Picture.
It didn't win.
It didn't win.
Well,
You're talking about winners, not like all that.
Yeah,
were
no,
nominated.
winners. Yeah, winners. Yeah.
That'd be a cool thing.
I don't like Citizen Kane that much. I know that's like pretty controversial. People love that movie. Film people.
Listen, you can find another podcast.
Film people like they worship that movie.
It's just, the newer generation doesn't care for it as much. It's dated now. It's pretty dated. But you can see how back then it was considered, why it would be considered one of the best movies ever made.
It's for its time. It was a technical achievement.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think it's incredibly overrated.
Yeah.
They did this. They did this scene. There's a scene that takes place in like a theater, and all the seats are filled, but they're not real people. Even though they're moving, it's not real people. It's all painted in, and they use lights and shadows, and they're moving. And it's for the time that was such like a technical achievement. It was such a new technology. Like people that no one had done that before.
Yeah, there's some things back then that are still really good.
Mm.
Like I watched. For one of my classes, I watched Psycho and I watched Strangers I watched Strangers on a Train. Have you ever seen Strangers on a Train?
I have not. I want to see that one. The Hitchcock one, right?
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's like, you know what it's about?
Yeah, two strangers on a train.
They
have to kill each other's spouses or something.
Yeah, and it's a really good movie, and it's like there's some things in it. Like there's one scene where one of the guys is a tennis player and he's sitting and playing tennis. And you know how in tennis, when the crowd is watching a game, they're doing like looking back and forth, like the entire game. There's one really unnerving scene where he's sitting there getting ready to get up and play. There's a game on, and he looks at the crowd, and everybody's doing that except for one person. And that one person is staring right at him. And it's the guy from the train. And that had like chills going down my spine. I was like, oof, if that happened to me, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? Why is he staring at me? Like, everybody else is paying attention to the game, and he's the only person staring at me. There's stuff like that just, it's ahead of its time. It's way ahead of its time.
Yeah, I own the movie. It's in that DVD rack. But,
Yeah, it's a
I,
really.
I never got around to watching it, but I should.
Yeah, there's some of those old movies that I could watch over and over again. Like that's one of them. Psycho.
Anything Hitchcock's great.
Yeah,
Vertigo's one of like my favorite Hitchcock.
Vertigo's a great one. Yeah,
Vertigo,
we should watch that one.
I'm down.
Rear Window.
I haven't seen that. I think Psycho and Stranger on the Train are the only two that I've seen by Hitchcock.
North by Northwest is another good one.
I've never seen that one. I need to see that.
Yeah.
But
The
Vertigo's like
Yeah.
for Hitchcock, it's like up here.
Yeah,
It's
Vertigo's beaten Citizen Kane a couple of times for best movie of all time.
has it and like
Yeah.
what like polls.
Yeah, or even then, like, you know how like every year they reevaluate it. There have been a few years where it beat Citizen Kane, but then like the next year Citizen Kane will go back up.
I love Vertigo. It's like for me, like have you ever seen any like a Kurosawa films? Akira Kurosawa, like Seven Samurai.
I've seen Rashomon.
Rashomon's like
I've never seen
top
it.
tier for me. Kurosawa.
That sounds familiar. What's Rashomon?
It's like sort of like
We've talked about it a few times on the podcast.
yeah. It's one of my favorite movies. It's like
It has one of those titles where it's like Rashomon and then another title, right?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It's the movie where there's this guy, samurai who dies in the jungle.
no, it's a woman.
A woman who dies. Sorry, a woman dies in the jungle, and they're trying to figure out who did it, and they tell 3 different stories.
Yeah.
And one of the stories is from the dead woman because they bring back her spirit.
They bring like a medium in,
Okay.
but you also get there's an axeman. There's like a woodsman. You get his story. There's like I think the husband of the woman. Maybe I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah. The woman's husband. Then you get the outlaw,
the outlaw, the woodsman,
the woodsman, and then the woman herself.
the woman herself, and they bring like a medium in. But when these points of view are being told, you actually see it as like a vignette. Like you see it from their point of view, like the story, and you see the story of how they're telling it.
Yeah, so it's probably like a 20-minute scene, but they refilm it like 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah,
with different outcomes.
So it's kind of like
you ever see Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You remember the scene where like Carlton and Will are in court and they're explaining what happened at the party, and every time they tell the party story, it's like a different thing that happens.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with
pretty
Clue.
much like,
Okay.
like Clue. I don't know if you've seen Clue.
Have you seen Clue?
But Clue's different though because
But I think I know what you're talking about. It's like
Clue.
Oh, I guess it's just different endings.
Yeah.
it's like the same situation, just in 4 different points of view.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
I like you just have to like look at Kurosawa's like. Which, by the way, Paul Giamatti was just in the Criterion Closet. I don't know if you know. Do you ever watch those videos?
No.
Do you know Criterion, right?
Yeah, like the Criterion.
Yeah.
collection.
So the Criterion has this closet full of the movies, and they have actors, directors, filmmakers. They all like sort of will go in and they'll pick out some of their favorite movies from it, and they'll talk about the movie when they pick it out and why it means so much to them. They talk about the movie and stuff. And I love those videos, and it's like my dream to get to go in there and do that.
Yeah.
But Paul Giamatti just did his, and he picked out Rashomon, and I was so happy because I don't see people pull that one out a lot. A lot of times when they pull out Kurosawa, it's like Seven Samurai, or I think I saw someone pull out Yojimbo once, which is a good one too. And HBO Max has almost all. I think all of Kurosawa's, if not almost all of them. They have a good amount.
Yeah.
But I was so happy. I know Rashomon's one of his more well-received, more known ones, but I don't see it get picked out a lot or talked about a lot.
Yeah.
And it's such a good movie.
Yeah. There's some good movies back then. Like anything. What's that? So there was Charlie Chaplin and there was another guy.
Buster Keaton.
Buster
Buster
Keaton.
Keaton,
You're talking about that train, the movie with the train when he's on the
Yeah.
train.
The general.
That guy should have lived as long as he did.
No,
Yeah, no,
he did that all himself.
crazy
There
shit.
wasn't
Yeah.
a stunt actor.
What's I'm saying? He shouldn't have lived as long
Yeah.
as he did.
A lot of their comedy movies back then were so good. Like those 2 guys. Dr. Strangelove was hilarious. I remember watching that. movie.
The Kubrick one.
Yeah.
I saw that for the first time last year. Yeah, that was a funny one.
Yeah, or something
Yeah,
that dropped the bomb or something like that.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah,
Strangelove, or How I Stopped
I don't
Worrying and
know how
Learned to
true
Love
this
the
because
Bomb.
when I was reading up on it because I was kind of trying to figure out what I watched after watching it because it's a lot to take in for a movie.
Yeah.
And when I watched I read a couple of articles. And every article talked about how the whole movie is a metaphor for sex.
Is it?
Like they talk about their bigger guns, their bigger weapons, their bigger bombs. It's just guys trying to talk about their bigger. And it's not just that. Like the articles that went into detail about how every single scene is a reference to sex. And I was like, what did I watch a porno or something?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
That's
I didn't get that at
Peter
all.
Sellers, right?
yeah, he plays 3 people in that movie.
Yeah. And George Scott or some George C. Scott, I think, is in it.
You know the president in the movie.
Yeah.
The former Nazi guy who can't walk.
Oh, Slim
and
Pickens.
then at the end he stands up and he's like, I can walk.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's the same actor, the president and his. Yeah, I just found that out. Yeah.
Slim Pickens. I love Slim Pickens.
Yeah. There's a scene in that movie that always cracks me up. It's the one in the hallway with the Coke machine. He's like, I need a quarter. And then he's like,
I need to rewatch it. It's been so long.
I have it too. I have the Criterion of it.
He like shoots the Coke machine.
Or one of James Earl Jones' earliest performances.
Yeah. I forgot he was in it. I haven't seen that in so long. I need to rewatch that.
It's a good.
You know that scene when he's like on the bomb and he's like riding and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, woohoo.
They've done that in The Simpsons. They've had like
they parried that a lot.
They parry a lot of things, but that's like. I saw this thing where people were like talking about The Simpsons and that like image of that video came up and they're like, what is this from? Like, what is? And I'm like, it's Doctor Strange. How do you not know it's Doctor Strangelove? It's such an iconic scene.
I mean, it's an iconic scene, but a lot of people don't know the movie. The scene is more popular than the movie. The bomb dropping scene.
Yeah, it was a good movie then. Yeah, there's a lot of movies back then that are just like ahead of their time.
If you go, the American Film Institute has a list of like the top 100 movies of all time, like to watch before you die or something, and you can go down it and you can check off as you watch them or if you've seen them. But it's 100 movies, like of the 100 of the greatest movies, and it's like the Maltese Falcon, Wizard of Oz is on there. I feel like most people have seen that.
Yeah.
Godfather, that kind of like it's just such a good list. E.T. I think is on there. I think Jaws might actually be on there. Is it
the AFI list or is it something else?
No, it's AFI, the American Film Institute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the AFI list is a better depiction of what like
people
popular culture, what people think is the best movies. Because the Oscars, like I like the Oscars a lot, but that the winners really are more of like what like Hollywood itself thinks of themselves. While like the AFI lists, I think is more telling of what like the general audience.
Yeah. I also feel like sometimes the winner is a little bit compromised. Like sometimes they'll be like, oh, we have two movies. One of them is the best. Like they're both nominated for Best Picture, and then their lead actor is both nominated for Best Actor, and they'll just kind of like trade one or the other. Like one movie will win the Best Actor, one movie will win the Best Picture, just because they can't choose. Like they can't figure out which one.
Well, the very first Oscar actually technically had two Best Picture winners.
Did it?
Yeah, one was like the Best Picture.
What year was it?
1927. One was like the Best Motion Picture for production, and the other one was like Most Outstanding Film. The Best Motion Picture for production, which is Wings, is the one that's recognized as the Best Picture winner. But they technically had a second category.
Huh. Strange. I didn't know that.
And Wings is also the only silent film to win Best Picture. Which technically the artist was somewhat of a silent film. I think
it was a silent film.
But they speak at the end, so people don't count it.
Do they? Oh, I guess they do.
They say a couple lines of dialogue at the end, and people are like, oh, it's not really a silent film now.
Yeah, no idea.
So this was a list that was put out when the AFI. This was from. I think I was in high school. I was I was a freshman in high school when this list was out. I took a lit and film class. I don't know if they've updated it since.
Well, Letterboxd has the most updated one. If you want to go on your
was it from AFI?
It's a list that shows the most recent AFI. I think.
Okay, so this was the list that I always see is from when AFI was celebrating its 10th anniversary. So this was maybe 2012.
Right.
Maybe a little before that, but I saw it when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's 2012.
Dude, Jaws? I used to think, so before I watched Jaws, I thought Jaws was just like one of those stupid campy, like...
It's actually really good.
Shark movies. Yeah, I watched it in one of my...
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I watched it in one of my classes at UMass, and they were talking so highly of it, and I was like...
It's very good.
It's more than just a shark movie. Like, it's such
a character study.
Yeah.
Because you look at, like the mayor and how selfish he is in the beginning. I mean, spoiler, doesn't last, but... Yeah. But you also look at, like, what is it? Is it Brody? Or no, Richard Dreyfuss, yeah. He shows up, right? And then the boat gets attacked, and he goes and he hides behind a rock, and then he doesn't come back to the end of the movie which is weird. I don't like
Yeah.
understand that.
But there's just like, and there's also like a lot of shots that are really good, like where he notices there's a shark in the water and the camera like goes from this wide shot straight into his face, and you can
it's
see
that
him like noticing.
It's that like very like Sam Raimi-esque like
Yeah.
quick zoom.
Yeah, and it's like there's just a lot in that movie that's just higher quality than any other monster movie.
That would have predated the Sam Raimi because Evil Dead didn't come out until the 80s.
No, I know that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying I feel like Sam Raimi might have gotten like, because he does it. If you've ever noticed, he does the quick zooms. He does the quick pans, the whips.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got inspiration from that.
Yeah, and I feel like if a lot more directors took notes from things like Jaws and Godzilla -1, we'd have a lot better monster movies out there. Because I love a good monster movie. I love a good like giant crocodile or giant
Cronenberg's
shark.
The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that.
That movie makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to make sure that like the story around this monster is good.
Well, I
Is
mean,
it
The
a
Fly
really
is
good story.
It's been done before.
Yeah,
It's like considered a classic in like horror.
yeah,
But it's Jeff Goldblum, his performance. It's just so like creepy.
yeah. But you also it's you can't have a story and then the monster just happens to be there. The monster has to be part of the story.
Yeah, no, he created the monster in The Fly.
Exactly. He created the monster. Jaws is Rhodey's first like real challenge
Because he kills the wrong shark. Yeah.
Well, it's his first real challenge as the sheriff, and it's his first, view on how corrupted this town's government is. Somebody died from a shark attack, and they don't want to do anything about it.
Yeah, they don't want
They
to
don't
spoil
even
the party.
Yeah, they don't even want to close down the beach. Like, it's his first real test to show like he can do the right thing, and it shows it really well in his character development and stuff like that. Godzilla -1, like he was a huge part of that guy's his basically like PTSD from being on the island, watching the rest of the people die and thinking it's his fault, and then seeing it all over again and stuff like that. So that was a big part of his kind of arc of growing to actually face Godzilla and try to kill him. And you can't just have like, oh, this whole story's happening, and then they get attacked by this giant monster. It's crazy.
You can't write it as this happened and then this happened, and it has to be this happened because this happened.
It has to feel like one fluid story.
Yeah.
You can't just have like
leading into this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun, like the Meg, the first one. I thought that was a great movie.
Well,
I
the
thought it was
second one.
fantastic. The second one was
I don't understand. They had something, and it just.
The first one was fantastic.
the second
Jason Statham versus the shark. I was like, yes, please take my money now.
Yeah, the second one, I just watched the second one like a month or two ago. Like, I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like it was strange. Like they spent most of the time like
really
underwater, away from the shark.
Yeah, the
They're
shark.
like I mean, I guess it's called Meg 2 the Trench, and they were definitely in the trench.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, the Kraken's in it," and I was like, "Oh, fantastic!" And the Kraken was in for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you just see his tentacle or something.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, dude, you just told me that the Kraken was in it. What the fuck? I was excited, and then they had all these other animals, all these other creatures come up from the trench, and I'm like, oh, great, but it didn't really seem like that big of a deal. You'd think there's a trench underneath. You alright?
No, it smells really good. That candle thing. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You think like there's a trench underneath the sea floor. There has to be something bigger than just like a couple of Megs and the Kraken. Like there has to be.
There was a super
more.
Meg that was slightly bigger than the others.
Yeah, slightly bigger. But by the time like at the beginning of the movie, they had already discovered these other 2 Megs, and they were all. Wasn't it that it? Like they were already discovered, and they were already just kind of doing things. Like, why didn't you just discover them during the movie? Didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, like I love a good monster movie. I love a good, I eat everybody, but I feel like it's a better entertaining story if it's a more fluid story than just this monster eating everybody.
So sorry. I'm going down this list, this AFI list, and you said Letterboxd.
Yeah,
has one.
actually, it's the AFI's Letterboxd account posted it. So.
Oh, let me show it. But the General is on this list. It's listed as number 18.
That's a good movie.
The Graduate, Sunset Boulevard, 2001, Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Star Wars is on here. I recently had this thought. So you remember Yoda's doing Luke training with Luke, and he's like, "Hey, never use the Force as an attack. It's always used. The Force is used for defense and knowledge. Like, that's great, right? But then is it like Attack of the Clones or whatever it is? Yoda just goes up and straight up attacks like Palpatine and who is it?
Well, I think he means like in general.
But no, he doesn't even like get attacked first. He just sort of goes and pushes Palpatine out of his chair, and he goes and he just straight up attacks. It's not Dooku. It's
Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda attacks the red guy. I can't remember his name.
Who are you talking about?
Maul.
Darth Maul, right?
Darth Maul. Is that his name?
Yeah, and that's Attack of the Clones, right?
Darth Maul is in Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Are you talking about Christopher Lee's character?
Yeah.
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku. Yeah. He just straight up attacks him with like no like. But I'm like, didn't you just say it's for defense and knowledge, and you're straight up without being provoked, you're just attacking? Like that goes such against who you are.
I haven't seen those movies in so long. I have to watch them again.
Yeah.
But I can see where that might be frustrating.
Like, bro.
Yeah, I can see why Star Wars is on that list though.
I love the first like the original trilogy is just so good.
Yeah. And even the newer trilogy was on the right track when the first movie, I thought. I love The Force Awakens.
I like The Last Jedi as well too.
I didn't really care too much about it.
I don't like
Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't love the Rise of Skywalker. It was so bad.
It was really bad.
Rise of Skywalker is one of the worst Star Wars movies.
Rogue One, I think, might be my favorite Star Wars movie. Actually,
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Gareth Edwards, right?
Yeah, Gareth Edwards.
It's so good, and it's so how it connects into like with A New Hope and stuff. It's so good.
Yeah. Is Solo any good?
I don't think it's awful.
It was fine.
I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's great.
It had a messy production, and for what they did, it was fine.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you get what's his name, Donald Glover as Lando, as a young Lando, and I think that works really well. Honestly,
Yeah.
I really like Donald Glover.
From what I've heard, after Obi-Wan, they really got on track with all their shows too. Like Andor, I heard was really good. I heard
I haven't seen Andor yet.
it's the one with the girl who's really long.
Ashoka.
I heard that one was really good. Like I heard they kind of got on track after Obi-Wan.
I haven't even watched much of The Mandalorian. I watched a few episodes in the first season. I liked it, but I wasn't like.
Yeah, I liked the first season, and then we got around to watching the rest.
Oh,
But they're apparently Respawn's making a Mandalorian game. The people who did like the Jedi, the Star Wars, like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games.
I have the Fallen Order. I haven't played it.
They're making a Mandalorian game apparently too.
Huh?
Aren't they supposed to end the Mandalorian with a theatrical movie?
They are, yeah. Favreau's directing. It's Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
Is he directing the Lion King prequel that's coming out this year?
Is there a prequel?
Yeah, the Mufasa movie.
Is it live
There's a
action?
Yeah.
Mufasa movie?
Oh no!
What the fuck?
No!
Oh, that doesn't sound very good.
I like Jon Favreau. Why? Don't.
That's one Disney movie coming out this year. And we've got Moana too.
Yeah.
Moana
I keep
2,
forgetting-
Inside Out 2.
Dude, I keep forgetting that Pedro Pascal was the Mandalorian.
Yeah, because he's.
That's where I first learned of him.
Well, like I think the whole first season he's under the mask, right?
Yeah. And then the second season he's out of the mask for like an episode. But he's now played Joel from The Last of Us.
How
He's
many
played-
times is he gonna guide a magical child to safety?
Yeah. Now he's playing Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
he has a
really good
lot of-
actor though.
Yeah.
He was in Wonder Woman 84.
He was that.
Yeah,
We
he
did.
Yeah, that was very good. That was the dumbest movie I think I've ever seen.
You
I thought-
haven't seen Madam Web.
There was.
Yeah, I haven't
There
seen
was.
Madam Web yet.
There was no reason for Kristen Wiig to be in that like Cheetah. There was no reason for her to be in that
Her
movie.
character was pointless.
It didn't make any sense.
I don't even think she was like good as that character.
Yeah.
Which is not terrible. She's fine in other. I've seen her,
Yeah.
but I just that her character is pointless.
Yeah. Back to the Oscars real quick. I thought that the Iron Claw got snubbed.
Oh yeah, that's what we want to talk about originally. Right?
Yeah, we went on
An hour and 15 minutes.
An hour
ago.
and 15 minutes in.
50.
Oh, 50?
Yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh,
All
Jesus
right.
Christ. Oh, it's
So we
10
can
o'clock.
Yeah, we can talk real quick about what got snubbed. But
I'll go all night if you guys want.
yeah, I have to be at work tomorrow at 8:30, so I probably have to go soon. But I thought the Iron Claw got snubbed completely.
I do too.
There was no nominations from it, right?
I think
Nothing. Yeah.
Zac Efron could have at least. I thought he was warranted a nomination.
He was alright. I thought either.
But no, Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, one of the two brothers at least.
What do you think?
I would say one of the problems. I think it came out a little bit too late. Like it came out after all the Oscar movies are coming out. It came like right at the end of the year, and people were like more thinking about the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favorite movies last year.
Yeah, me too.
Did A24 even like submit it? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I don't know why they wouldn't. Because that movie got a lot of buzz in general, like with praise.
Yeah.
But yeah, Efron deserved an Oscar nomination for acting.
I don't think he got snubbed, but
sorry.
it's not really anything Oscar like related, but Mean Girls.
Well, that came out this year.
Was it this year? Oh
yeah.
What
would you nominate it for?
No, I wouldn't nominate for anything. It wasn't a great movie.
There was that one scene about the bus, the truck.
I kind of liked the Mean Girls musical. I thought it was fun.
Me up. It was okay, but there was one line, just a single line of dialogue at the end of the movie that made the entire movie work.
It was the bus thing, right?
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, I don't want, people think that I pushed her in front of a bus. And Regina George, there was a few little twists in this movie that I thought worked really well. One of them being at the end at prom or at homecoming where she was high as balls. She was like completely high off painkillers, and she was like, she's a good person. She didn't push me. The bus pushed me. That one part. Crap.
Have you seen the original Mean Girls?
I did. It's a good movie. But back to like we were talking about before. I thought it came out last year, but I don't think things like Napoleon got snubbed or.
They got a couple nominations.
Did it?
It did.
Yeah, I got production and costume design.
I guess production. You look at the war scenes, and they were pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But
Didn't they?
nothing
Oscars they're adding a new category for next year, right?
Not next year or the year after.
What is it again? Is
Like
it stunts?
best casting?
Oh, casting. Why they should add stunts as a category?
Yeah, they're never gonna do that.
But it's such an integral part to films now. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I could see them like recognizing, doing like a recognition award, not necessarily anybody like a movie that they've done, but maybe just like a body of work from somebody, like a director recognition, actor recognition, or actress recognition. Like somebody like Leo would definitely get something like that. He does all of these great films and all these great roles. Somebody like
What you're talking about, like a recognition Oscar
in memoriam.
Not in memoriam. Well, like they don't necessarily have to be in any nominated movie, but maybe like every year they just tell us like, oh, we thought this person deserved this award this year because we just.
Well, they already do that. They do that though, don't they?
Do they?
I thought they do.
Yeah,
they should give him a participation.
Yeah, because
ribbon.
Yeah, because Alfred Hitchcock never won an Oscar. They gave him an honorary Oscar on the awards.
They did. I saw that he came out and what did he like?
His speech was "Thank you" when he left.
It was this whole like people were clapping for like a few minutes.
Napoleon has 3 nominations.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, production design, costume design, and visual effects.
Probably the
visual effects.
Probably like the cannonball just opening up that horse.
But Oppenheimer didn't even qualify for visual effects.
Well, that's stupid because he dropped a literal nuke. Like he dropped a real nuke on somewhere.
I don't think that was true.
I think it was. I think he's crazy enough.
They dropped a bomb. It wasn't a nuke.
And a lot of the other visuals of like embers flying across the screen or like the actual explosion. Did you hear like what he did with all of that? Because what I heard was he basically made it out of like water. He would drop stuff in it and it would look like embers, or it's like small things here that he would do that he just kind of made it seem like it was kind of like this. I don't know. It seemed like he got really creative with some of that stuff, but I think it should have, because there's a lot of those scenes also after the bomb was dropped where he's having those kind of he's having those visions of people dying while he's on stage or when he's doing this and that. So that was all really creative, and I thought it was definitely worth something. But I think Oppenheimer's been nominated for a lot. So.
It's got like 11 or 12 nominations, I think.
I think Score's one of them, right? Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah, I think it's guaranteed to win. I don't know. I do think it's guaranteed Best Picture. So I think that's a lock. And director.
Yeah.
Ludwig Göransson, he's been working with Nolan for a while. His scores are always so good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Yeah. It's like, I think.
What if they pull like a Everything Everywhere and they just sweep all of the main ones, like Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress.
Best Actress.
Was somebody nominated for Best Actress? Like Florence Pugh or
no? Emily Blunt was nominated for Supporting Actress.
Supporting Actress. Okay, so Best Actress.
Yeah,
that can go to Emma Stone. But what if it gets like all?
I don't even know why Emily Blunt was nominated.
She was okay in that movie, but she wasn't like.
She had like one or two good scenes, but
that last scene where they like pulled her out the trial and she just made everybody look stupid.
Yeah,
that was a really good scene.
Ludwig Göransson did scores for Oppenheimer, Tenet, Black Panther 2, Creed, and Creed 2.
But yeah, I think
we're the Millers.
I think. Well, I mean, Hans Zimmer did the score for Shark Tale, so we can't really make fun of that guy.
I'm not. Yeah, I love Shark Tale though. It's not good, but I love it.
Yeah, I think Oppenheimer is guaranteed Best Picture, Best Director, but I'm not sure about Best Actor yet. I think it's a little too close to tell for Best Actor.
Between who?
Him and Giamatti.
Okay, I have to watch the holdovers to see. Right now, for me, it's him and Jeffrey Wright. But I have to watch the holdovers because it could be a tie of the three.
Robert Downey Jr. is definitely winning.
Yeah, he's a shoo-in. That's it.
Yeah, he's been winning.
Him as Justice Strauss was. What is it? Just
no, it's Levi.
Justice Strauss is from the series of Unfortunate Events. Their neighbor that.
Oh,
they're from the reptile.
Yeah, no, it's like Levi Strauss, I think. Is his name?
Oh,
in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tells everybody it's Admiral Strauss.
Is that dude? Matt.
He was amazing.
Matt Damon too. He was like actually pretty good.
Yeah, Matt Damon was pretty good in that movie too. Like everybody who was in that movie was pretty good, and it's just a really jam-packed movie, and he somehow made it all work.
60 Minutes interviewed Cillian Murphy, and like Matt Damon. I don't know if you saw this, but Matt Damon talked about you, and he said that he was the worst dinner companion ever. And Cillian Murphy went.
I don't know if you can see. You can't see a Christian, but he made a facial expression.
You can look up the clip. It's actually really funny.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
He like kind of laughs, and then he just does it.
Yeah, it's so weird, but I'm so happy that he chose Cillian to be the main actor. Like to be the lead.
I'm so glad he's doing this in the industry.
That. Yeah, he deserves it. And there's so many other big hitters in that movie, like Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr. There's so many other people, like small cameos. Like he could have chosen anyone, but he thought that Cillian deserved it, and I think he deserves it. So he's getting all the recognition now, even though he's like 50 something.
Cillian Murphy.
He's almost 50. He's not quite 50.
He's almost 50. But he's getting all the recognition now, and I'm really happy for him because he's a fantastic guy.
Maybe Robert Downey Jr. is getting like.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't he close to 60 now or something?
He is close to 60.
Yeah, him too. He spent all this time playing Iron Man that he didn't really take too much time to play anything.
You know, it's like past, right?
Yeah. But
so
even
Iron Man and also Tropic Thunder were like the things that really like brought him back.
Yeah.
And aren't they doing another Sherlock Holmes? I thought they were.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I like.
The Judge was good. Have you ever seen The Judge?
Oh, you're
with him.
The word, but yeah.
His dad is like a judge. He's kind of an older guy. It's a drama, and he's really good at it too. Like Robert Downey Jr. is one of those guys who can just play anybody. He's really good at it.
Yeah. Harry Connick Jr.'s dad's a judge in real life.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where if he played Iron Man really good.
Oh, I don't know Harry Connick Jr.
If Robert Downey Jr. plays a villain in any of these movies,
he'd be a good villain.
He'd be a fantastic villain. Just like he was in Oppenheimer.
Patrick Bateman, that's a character. Christian Bale,
Yeah.
right? Patrick Bateman was his American
Yeah.
Psycho character, which is I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's like up there for me. Eggshell.
Christian Bale was in something last year, wasn't he?
Oh, that's
Pale
stupid.
Blue Eyes.
Yeah, it was not good.
Pale Blue Eye. That wasn't good. It
Did
sounded.
you see?
It sounded like it was gonna be good.
There Will Be Blood.
Yes.
That's a really good movie. When he takes the bullet, and he's
Yeah. Everything in that movie was good, especially like the church scene, the dinner scene where he freaks out. I drink your milkshake. Like,
yeah, he's so good.
Daniel Day-Lewis is fantastic. Somebody said, I forgot who it was. I think they were talking to Scorsese. They were like, "Are you gonna do another movie with Daniel Day-Lewis?" And I think he said something like, "Never say never."
They did Lincoln, right?
They did.
No,
Spielberg.
Spielberg did Lincoln. Never mind.
He did The Crucible, I think, and he was in Gangs.
Scorsese?
That wasn't Scorsese.
Gangs of New York was Scorsese, and he was in that.
Yeah.
I actually like The
played
Crucible.
both.
That's one of my favorite plays. It's Arthur Miller.
Yeah, he was.
Another Miller.
Was it John Proctor in
What?
that movie or something like that?
Yeah, he was. The Crucible was 1996. Winona Ryder. Let's see.
Yeah, I would love to see him in somebody else's movie, like
Yeah,
Nicholas
He's
Hinter?
retired.
Is he retired?
Yeah, he retired. He retired after Phantom Thread like almost a decade ago.
Isn't he the only person who won like 3 Oscars?
He's not the only one. Well, I mean, Audrey Hepburn's won 4 Oscars.
Oh, really?
But yeah, Frances McDormand has 3 Oscars.
Jodie Foster got nominated this year, right? For Naiad?
Yeah, I never saw that one.
I haven't seen it, but that's not the woman that swam from like, I don't know, she swam a long distance. And she was like in her 70s when she did it.
Yeah. He's a fantastic actor. I'm going to miss him now that he's retired.
Oh, I thought now that he's dead. I was like, he's not dead.
No. There's just so many actors I would love to see.
Michael
him play
Caine,
next to.
he's all done.
Michael Caine's done?
He's done acting. He did his last movie, and people knew it was coming because he's not doing well.
Yeah, I'm surprised Anthony Hopkins is still acting.
Isn't he in? He's in something.
He was just...
He's in a lot of things.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things. He's not just in something.
No, I said he's in something recently.
One Life is coming out in a few weeks. He's gonna be in that.
That's gonna be the mystery movie, huh?
Possibly.
Didn't he just win another Oscar for the Two Popes thing?
Not the Two Popes. He won it a few years ago for The Father.
The Father, that's what it was.
He beat Chadwick Boseman.
Did he? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was that year. Remember that
People
year?
were mad.
Where they presented Best Picture in the middle of the show, and because they wanted to present Best Actor last, because they thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win Best Actor, and nobody knows who wins until they open the envelope. And well, it was Joaquin Phoenix goes up, and he goes, and the Oscar goes to Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins didn't even show up.
Oh.
So he's like, Anthony Hopkins, have a nice night, everyone. He walks off in the credits roll.
That's a tough one.
It was Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Remember the year when they mixed the Oscars up by accident, like one of the awards?
La La Land and Green Book.
Yeah, they gave it to Green.
No, it was La La Land.
Not Green Book.
Moonlight.
Moonlight. Yeah.
They gave it to Moonlight, right?
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be for La La Land.
No, they said
other
La
way
La
around.
Land and they gave it to Moonlight.
I think La La Land should have won.
I like La La Land.
I like them. I like both movies a lot.
I saw
but
Moonlight in theaters.
Yeah.
La La Land's also had much more of a cultural impact.
I haven't seen La La Land. I have to
It's
watch
really
it.
good.
It's on Netflix.
Is it still on Netflix?
It was recently. I don't know if it's still
Moonlight?
is.
No, La La Land.
It was recently.
I have to watch it.
I guess
But Moonlight was like my favorite movie
Oh,
that year. I watched that movie. And
it's
I was
almost
like,
10:20.
shit.
It's
Yeah, we
good.
can start wrapping this up if you guys want.
Does anyone have any last words? It's not a funeral. I don't mean last. You know what I mean.
I'm trying to think of
When's the
any
next
other-
one?
I don't know. I think
When
we
are the
should-
Oscars?
the next Oscars or
No, when are the Oscars this year? Like March something.
March 10th. Daylight Savings Time.
So
I think we should make like a schedule for it. I don't think weekly is reasonable.
So
because
2
we have,
weeks?
like jobs.
Yeah, maybe like a bi-weekly thing or something.
Yeah, like every other week we can do
Yeah,
something like
I'm
that.
fine with that.
If there's any like big releases, like I'm sure we'll do a separate video for Deadpool 3, or maybe like some other movies that come out. But I think that's kind of the format that we're thinking is we'll do like these general ones every 2 weeks, and if there's something that's like a huge release, like a Deadpool 3, some kind of movie that it seems like it's gonna be really good, or like we're hearing a lot of buzz about. We'll do a separate video about it, but we're thinking maybe like every 2 weeks we'll just do like a kind of general video where we maybe think of try to narrow it down to 1 or 2 topics so we're not going on tangents about a bunch of stuff, but we'll do like general videos here and there, and then big releases. Yeah. Or if we think about like a topic that we want to talk about within the film world, and we feel like we need to make a video on that. If there's no big releases coming out, maybe we'll figure out something for that. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So.
Chris has been yawning the entire
I
time.
know. I'm very tired. I'll tell you why after.
I can see Drew falling asleep, and I'm also.
You don't want to tell the whole.
No, I don't need to tell the whole world.
But Chris, you are the one hosting, so play us off.
Yeah, man.
Just give me get my harmonica or something. No, I get my guitar. Just. Anyways, yeah. So it's great to be back. Can't wait for the Oscars.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Thank you guys everyone for listening. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
Later.